slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. Some major news out of Green Bay last night as running back Josh Jacobs was arrested on charges of battery, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, which includes domestic abuse, strangulation, and suffocation, and intimidation of a victim. According to Brown County jail records, strangulation and suffocation charges a felony, and the other 4 charges are misdemeanors. Reaction coming your way next on Wilde and Tausch. The Milwaukee Brewers handled business against the Cardinals again last night. They defeated the Redbirds 6-0 thanks to a pair of home runs from Jake Bowers and Garrett Mitchell, including some antics from Abner Uribe as well. They'll look for the sweep today. First pitch at 12:40 with pregame coverage beginning right after Wilde and Tausch at 12:05 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tosh.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Wednesday edition. The second OTA practice of the offseason and the first open to reporters edition. Not sure that the on-field work will be the focus of today's coverage edition because it is also the Josh Jacobs arrested yesterday on 5 criminal charges related to domestic abuse, including 1 felony. And he is, I believe, set for his first court appearance today, perhaps while the Packers are practicing without him. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on the fantastic ESPN Wisconsin app, which is free, fully customizable, and available in both the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Practice set for 11:20 this morning. Matt LaFleur is scheduled to speak at 11:05 down on the field. The brand new media auditorium is being used for a meeting. Riley Yauk is in as our cousin sub of the day once again for Jesse Nelson in the Everlight Solar.
The media auditorium is being used for a meeting when it's the media availability?
That is a true statement right there.
There's literally 100 rooms in that place.
I don't know why. I just stating facts. Riley Yauk is our cousin sub of the day for Jesse Nelson. Riley, good morning. How are things in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios?
Good morning, Jason. They're going well. Good morning.
And joining Riley in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, that is a sweet Jones Dairy Farm hat. Can I get one of those? He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I don't understand the you have media available. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know who's in there. There's a sign that says the media auditorium is closed to the media today. It is being used for a meeting. So
Okay.
I definitely forgot how echoey this empty dentist's office style office, which
You need
I'm
to
very
get a bus
thankful
like
for.
I got. My remote
I
studio
do, yeah.
is a bus, and I think
I
that's not as echoey.
I need to figure out what I'm allowed to have in here based on the Packers
I would like
rules,
for you to
because
put. I'm assuming you can bring stuff in. I want you to get a Wilde and Tausch flag, and I want you to put it right behind you.
yeah,
And I want us to
could
get like
certainly do
almost
that.
NASCAR-ish with all of our partners, and I want that to be where you do it from. I think that makes sense.
Okay, we'll have to be careful. They don't want us to hang anything on the walls.
No, you tape it. Don't hang it. Tape it. And then you take it down.
Adhesives adhesives can be problematic.
Well,
too,
we'll get
so
Hallman
I'm not-
Lindsay up there, and they can repaint it after the season's over.
I
Everybody
love
will
that
be happy.
idea. Yes. So let's get right to it. And we're also going to talk about the football aspect of it, which I know Josh DiMaggio and I were texting about this last night. Josh, the producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We do have to talk about the football aspect of this as well. But the news.
Well, I'll tell you what, before you get
breaking-
into that, I listened to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on my way down to my remote studio, which will be the next couple, for the next 4 or 5 weeks. I'll be down there a couple times a week. Joshy got out-prepared by Chewy yesterday.
Well, that's got to sting.
I couldn't believe what I saw. And Chewy, instead of like burying Josh, which he could have, decided to give him grace, which I'm not sure Joshy would have given Chewy that same grace. It was a fascinating deal because Chewy recognized there's going to be times he is not going to be prepared to go about his business and wanted to bank a butt chewing for someone not being prepared. I thought it was good radio.
Oh,
No, smart.
Can you bank those types
I
of
think
things?
every show's got its own way they handle it. We don't bank here. You call everybody out, and then when we'll call you out, and that's kind of how it goes, which is the way it should be. We want to be held accountable. Ain't that right, Rouse?
Exactly.
All right.
Well, we will make sure that we follow that accountability when Jesse returns from his New England vacation as well. But the news of the day, obviously, yesterday, Packers running back Josh Jacobs facing 5 domestic abuse-related criminal charges, including a felony related to a disturbance that he was allegedly involved in on Saturday morning. He was taken into custody. I believe he turned himself in yesterday. Tausch, if you would have given me 12 guesses on who the player was, Josh Jacobs would not have been one of my 12 guesses. And this is, again, evidence that we have to be careful about how we view players and how we view, great guy in the locker room, whatever else. We don't know the details of this. We don't know any of the circumstances surrounding it. His lawyers have spoken in a statement stating that he vehemently denies the allegations and important evidence has not been made public. Tausch, I guess your immediate reaction when you saw this news break yesterday.
Yeah, it stinks for everybody. Obviously, the victim in this case, and what I always want to make sure we're very principled about is not presuming guilt. And I think that's what always happens in these cases. Oh, we're going to have to cut him and all these other things because, people always say, well, it's about the person. It's about this. Well, the reason that we're talking about it is because it affects our favorite football team, or at least mine, and it affects a lot of other people. Let's keep always the main thing, and that is obviously you're thinking about the victim in the situation, but you also want to make sure that there's a process that is due to Josh and to his team as well. So I don't want to get overboard on it, but what it does is it reminds you again what you just said. Let's not always just assume you know who these guys are and that you know how they go about their lives, because that's just not the case. And we've seen that now for the most part, 90, the high percentage, there's a lot of high character, really good dudes. But that doesn't mean everybody is. And in Josh's case, let's let this thing play itself out. The problem is, in today's society, that's just not the case. So when you do this, you understand that there's this extra scrutiny, especially a Green Bay Packer, especially a high-profile Green Bay Packer, and you know that you need to avoid these scenarios for all of those reasons. So it's going to be, it's this time of year where coaches are always nervous. It's even more so when guys leave because you have that month, and that's why it's so important to make sure guys have their plan in place and not have these things come up. Because what's going to happen today is it's going to be, instead of talking about the football team and where they're at preparation and all these other things, coaches hate distractions. So do the other players. Do you think guys want to come in there today to wherever you guys are going to, if you're in the locker room or wherever you talk with players? Nobody wants to have these discussions. And it always comes back to, from a player's perspective, of don't make me answer questions about you. Because we're trained to talk about ourselves and then talk about the team. If you ask me about another player's performance, I am going to give you nothing. And that's what it should be. So now today, Matt LaFleur will have to get up in front of his team, and he's going to have to address this. He's going to have to go through how to handle this with the media. And that's why you'll hear coaches always say, and I don't love this term for this, but this is what it is a distraction to the other guys, because they're not involved in it, but they are involved. And as a teammate, Josh Jacobs got a lot of things to worry about. Obviously, he's got a court. He's got to figure out, his, defense of it and trying to prove what he needs to do, all of those things. But from a player's standpoint, the last thing you ever want to do is become a burden or do things to put your team and your teammates in a bad spot. And unfortunately, that's what Josh Jacobs has done.
So how did you handle that? Because there were certainly incidents that happened during your 11-year career, not involving you, that you would face questions about it, whether it was, guys that were suspended for performance-enhancing substances to guys that got into different types of legal situations. So what was, you're right. The whole idea is to not create more questions for your teammates. But when someone does create questions for your teammates, how do you, as the guy that's not involved, handle that and talk about it, both in terms of with the media and making sure it's not a distraction to the actual work that's at hand today?
Well, there's obviously varying degrees. And when you start getting into criminal and people being arrested and domestic, all of the things that Riley said in his Sports Center, there's a real fine line, because your job, you always want to be a supportive teammate. But there's also a time where when things are coming out, and again, this is where taking a beat and not just jumping out there and making, like we have any clue really what happened. Obviously, there's enough there to be an arrest and to be a court case. So there's enough there to broach this. But you want to be a supportive teammate, but you also want to be mindful of the victims in these scenarios too. And it's a needle that is very difficult to kind of thread. But what you do is you're supportive, you say as little as possible, and you move it along. Because you, as players, you're going to talk. You're going to be in the locker room. You're going to hear this. You're going to talk to the PR folks. You're going to talk to people, and you're going to try and just get through this. There's nothing ground-shattering or earth-shattering or groundbreaking that you're even thinking. You just want this to be done. And you let the parties that are involved handle that side of it while being supportive. If I'm giving advice, that's what I would say. You just want to talk football. You understand you guys have a job to do. You understand that people are very interested, because, if this thing proves out to be one way, you're not going to have a running back. And you're already talked, and we've talked all offseason about the lack of depth there, and that Marshawn Lynch. There's all of these other storylines that people in our business are going to talk about, which is fine. But from a player standpoint, you don't care about any of that. You care about the scenario and you want to support your guy. That is where you want to leave it, and you don't want to put yourself out there in a position where you're supporting overly if you're not certain you know what actually happened. And that's the tricky part of it.
So I do want to talk about the reality at the running back position, because regardless of the allegations and whatever else is going to come from this case, there is the possibility that even if this is resolved before the season starts and that he doesn't end up in going through a lengthy trial, whatever it might look like from the legal path, he could still get a personal conduct suspension. I looked up a variety of different cases where some of the charges were dropped and players still faced suspensions. So we don't know
Law
what.
and Order last night, or what? How are you breaking that down? Law
I-
and Order,
I-
NFL style.
I
Who's the detective in that? Brasco, Donnie Brasco,
no, Lenny Briscoe.
Gil
Lenny
Haskell.
Briscoe.
Gil Haskell.
Gil, yeah, we liked Gil. But we do have to discuss where they are at running back at some point, because even if this ends up not being something that winds up going down the most troubling of paths legally, he could still be subject to a suspension to start the season. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. We're in the beginning stages of that. My question for you from a football perspective, before you tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is this: how do you think this affects the OTA practice yesterday when he's not there, right? And then today, when, forget about us asking questions in the locker room afterward, purely the football perspective, is it just business? Are you able to say, okay, we're on the field, business as usual, or is that not really realistic?
Well, obviously, Josh is going to be tight with a lot of guys. He's a leader in that locker room, so there's going to be a void, but you had that void yesterday. So it's going to be as close to business as usual. There'll be a cloud hanging over, but that will move along just like everything else. That's what I always not joke about, but I always talk about how fast the NFL moves. It's just that's the way it is. You have no choice but to move it along, and the organization has to kind of figure out how they want to handle all of that, from both a where Josh Jacobs stands, but more importantly, how you're going to, because after you get that news, what immediately you start thinking about is, what is my contingency? What is the next step? How are we going to fill this void so that the football team doesn't feel, or at least feels a minimal amount of whatever void that is going to be? So everybody has to kind of look at this from a different perspective. From a player standpoint, you're going to look at it from, all right, we're going to be thinking and trying to help the scenario out as much as we can with not knowing anything. But the best thing, you just go do your job. This is a job. This is not a family member. This is your workplace. So you go do your job, and then you try and help and do whatever you feel like you can to support a teammate and a friend. Everything else is secondary. The job is what you're there for, and you want to be supportive as a teammate, but let's not kid ourselves. This is about your development and trying to help your football team win.
We'll take a look at where the Packers stand at running back. Like I said, I understand that there are
How are you going to
more...
handle it from your perspective?
We can get into that after you tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time, because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0 interest financing. They have a bunch of different great options for you. Again, 0% interest. And in Wisconsin, your home takes a beating year-round. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, upgrade your home's look. It's hot out, keep the cold air in. It's cold out, keep the hot air in. That's what you need, and that's what Pella provides. Their experts will help you find that perfect fit for your home and within your budget, all trying to find that 0 interest package that fits your model. You can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Brew Crew are back on June 2nd.
Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Grisham back. It is gone!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Francisco Giants.
Got him swinging. Threw him a curveball. It's 11 Ks for Mizorowski.
Brewers baseball is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in June 2nd at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise: treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Sushi is more than a meal. It's an art form, and now you're invited to create it. St. Kate the Arts Hotel presents Studio Sessions, The Art of the Roll, an intimate, hands-on evening inside the studio kitchen and cocktails where guests are welcome with a complimentary cocktail, wine, beer, or sake, then guided through crafting 3 stunning sushi rolls from the very first fold to the final cut. This is culinary artistry made personal. Reserve your evening at stkatearts.com.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Clutter piling up? Take a breath. Badgerland Junk is here to help. Based in Milwaukee, they make cleanouts simple, fast, and stress-free. From single item pickups to full estate cleanouts, their team does the heavy lifting so you don't have to. Homeowners and property managers, this is your solution. Furniture, appliances, yard debris, even commercial cleanouts. They do it all with clear upfront pricing and no hidden fees. Serving Milwaukee and the entire metro area, visit BadgerlandJunk.com. Badgerland Junk, your trusted cleanout experts.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Packers getting ready for their OTA practice. That starts at 11:20. Matt LaFleur will address reporters at 11:05. He always has to be just like with McCarthy and Ted, right? He always has to be the guy that's got to talk no matter what. Not a great situation for him to be in. To your question about how I'm going to approach this, I have to come up with smart, creative ways to ask players about this that doesn't put them in an uncomfortable position and gets some sort of answer.
Why, can I ask you this? Why
use.
do we have to get the other players' opinions on this? They don't know anything.
Well, I wouldn't say opinions on whether he did it or didn't or whatever else that might be. But how does it affect the team?
Yeah.
Is the angle that I would take.
Sure.
And especially when, look, again, I don't want to pretend that Josh Jacobs and I are friends and I know him well. I do not. I have a very good working relationship with him. I like him in terms of my experience with him. He's been honest with me. He has been open. He has been insightful. He has helped me pass along better information and better stories to Packers fans in covering this team. And he's been a pretty damn good football player for them who has played through a bunch of injuries. To me, the significant angle of this from a football perspective is that he is one of the pillars of their locker room, in a locker room that doesn't have Reggie White and Leroy Butler and those other guys that you saw at the Tellurian golf tournament last week. Like, that locker room was full of veteran leaders of different stripes and shades. And this one, you got Jordan Love, you got Christian Watson, you got Micah Parsons, who's still kind of emerging, right, on a team that he joined late, just before the start of the season last year, and then was injured for the last half or the last third of the season. And Josh Jacobs is a captain on this team.
Yeah, I would probably say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you think about, obviously Rodgers was so dominant. I'm talking about in the Matt LaFleur area from a leadership standpoint. You had him and D-Bach for a stretch, Devontae. This is probably as deep of a leadership group as you feel. Like, I feel very confident with their leadership group, and that's with or without Josh Jacobs. Because you start looking at Xavier McKinney, Jordan Love, I think, has had to elevate himself, Tucker Kraft, and Christian Watson. I feel like that's a pretty strong group and more depth. And I think the fact that Jordan hasn't emerged as that Hall of, as the All-Pro, that actually makes it more tenable for other people to lead too. So Josh Jacobs obviously is a big voice in that room. But if that, again, this is the part that just makes me a little uncomfortable, because until this stuff gets settled and figured out, I don't like acting like he's not going to be there. But but you have to kind of play that game. And if that is indeed the case, I think this leadership group is about as strong as Matt LaFleur has had in his tenure. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think in 2019, for example, right? You look at that team, and obviously Rodgers was the preeminent leader of that team. They had lost Jordy, right? But Randall Cobb, did Randall Cobb?
I think he was 20. I think he came at 20.
So Devontae Adams had certainly emerged as that guy. You look on the defensive side of the ball, there were guys that were emerging there. I would say that they have some guys that are veteran players who are new-ish to the team that aren't as long tenured on this roster and in this program, right? Josh Jacobs is going into his third year with the team. Xavier McKinney is. Those guys have now established themselves. But Micah Parsons, to some degree, his personality is in such a way. Like Tucker Kraft, for example, actually said that he wanted to pull back and go the other direction, that he felt like he was a little bit too in your face about his leadership last year, and that he wanted to take a step back in those terms. Christian Watson, I think, is that guy.
Yeah.
But how about a guy like Zaire Franklin? I mean, he just got here. He was certainly a leader in Indianapolis. He has to step into that role. I fully expect him to do so. But
that is a natural thing for him and for guys. And here's the deal. It's not only about the vocalness and how confident you kind of carry yourself. It's about the play. And that's where Micah, everybody is going to be looking, Micah is going to lead. Whether he wants to or not, he's going to lead. And I think, obviously, the Zaire Franklin, he has proven that to be the case. Xavier McKinney, a captain at New York. That's what I guess I'm trying to say is there's more depth within their leadership than I think I've seen in the Matt LaFleur era now, prior to even with Rodgers and Devontae and everybody else.
As compared to, say, the Mike McCarthy era, when you would argue that there was clearly a greater level of that. Mercedes Lewis was on that 2019 team, by the way.
Here's what I would always say. You want to have your strong leaders, and your quarterback has to be one of your leaders regardless. And Jordan, I think, is finding his footing. He's going to continue to grow into that. But sometimes you can have too much. And you can have a voice that's too big, and then everybody else gets drowned out. That is not the case here.
So I think a guy like Evan Williams I will talk to. I'm still formulating how I go about that. But the question to me is not, as shocked as I might have been or surprised as I might have been that it was Josh Jacobs, given what we thought we knew. And again, we don't know. I'm very leery of this conversation too, because these are serious charges.
Yes, they are.
Let's not mitigate that. At the same time, I don't know enough about his relationship, who this person is. I don't know the dynamic of that. Is it a volatile relationship on both? I don't know that.
I don't think that matters, if I'm being honest.
No, I would agree. But again, when his lawyers, whose job is to issue a statement, deny the allegations, and then say that there is further evidence that has not been revealed, they say that. Why? Because A, it casts doubt, and B, it makes you wonder, okay, I wonder what that is, right? They're doing their job. But I don't want it to be about, can you believe that this happened with this person? I'm thinking the focus more is what is the impact it has on this team and the locker room and the offseason as they go through it, because we don't know where this will lead in the coming days, weeks, months, into training camp, etc. That said, I do want to get into the actual football that'll be going on today because they have other questions. And I do want to talk, as we have earlier in this offseason, about the running back position, which, it doesn't matter if this is Josh Jacobs, as James Campen, the longtime offensive line coach, would say, breaking a shoelace or losing his helmet, whatever reason he's unavailable, they were not exactly deep at the running back position to begin with. And so from a purely football perspective, there is reason to be a little bit concerned about where they stand at running back, because they have not taken the advice of American Family Insurance and seemingly insured carefully at the position.
American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. Almost 10 years. Playing in Green Bay for over a decade, I've learned pretty quickly you got the right protection up front. You can play with confidence. That's what American Family Insurance has been doing for almost 100 years, protecting your home, auto, and the dreams you're building with your family so you can focus on what matters most. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Our buddy Bryan Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. When it comes to a home mortgage, we understand you want a simple, stress-free process, great service, and a loan you can feel good about. And for 90 years, that's exactly how we've been doing things at Great Midwest Bank. So if you're thinking about buying, building, renovating, or refinancing, get started at GreatMidwestBank.com to find a knowledgeable loan officer and get the peace of mind you deserve. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love, with 0% financing options available. So you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen.
Everything the Knicks did is now justified. They believed that Jalen Brunson could be the best player on a championship team. While that part is still TBD, they are right-ish because they are in the NBA Finals. It is justified. They were justified in moving on from Tom Thibodeau, who as a head coach never got to the NBA Finals. Mike Brown has been not good, he has been great, and Mike Brown is now in the NBA Finals for the second time as a full-time head coach. They are justified in trading 5 first-rounders for Mikal Bridges. They are justified in trading Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo for Karl Anthony Towns. They are justified in trading for OG and giving up 2 guys they drafted in the first round, and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. They are justified, CC, in everything they have done getting to this point.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done, inside and out, at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money.
You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Joining us now on the Yuengling Guest Hotline, Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, 197 years old. We're talking all about 250 and 1776 to 2026. Well, 197 ain't nothing, that's for sure. And now it's in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. I got to see this guy a lot last week, mostly virtually. In fact, entirely virtually. But it's always great to see him on this program. This is Bryan Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. Brian, good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
We're okay. I was asking Tausch this earlier. Put yourself in the Packers locker room and, snot-nosed beat writer Jason Wilde comes up to you, and obviously Josh Jacobs. The situation is obviously the top-of-mind topic today as we have our first OTA practice that is open to the media. How are you handling my probing questions that you don't really want to have to answer if you're in the locker room today?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike McCarthy always taught us this was, don't create questions for others and don't answer questions for others. I think that's like the easiest way to go about this situation. Nobody, unless guys have talked to them, and again, it's a very difficult situation, but nobody really knows what happened there. That's why there's a judicial process for that to get figured out and for, all this to come to light. So for guys in the locker room, besides that, like, hey, he's a leader on this team, he's a friend of mine, he's a teammate, we really like, and all those things, there's not much to comment on. It's not your business. You should probably stay out of it. No matter which side of the fence you sit on, you're probably going to be wrong or someone's going to view you as wrong on it. So you might as well just mind your own business. Say, essentially the way I would look at it is kind of what I said, we'll let the process play itself out. I don't know any of the facts. You don't know any of the facts besides what's been presented to us thus far. And that's really all I know about it. Like, because obviously you want to support your teammate and you want to be there for your teammate, but clearly there's another side to this. And the other side is there is, I'm assuming, a young woman that is making these allegations. So there's two sides of this story. You don't want to take one side, even though he's your teammate. You play ball with him and you see him every day and all that. Like, I understand that, but this is one of those situations that it's very delicate and it's best you just stay out of it because it's not your business.
Blue, how would that be different if, let's say, you're Josh Jacobs' best friend? Like, do you look at that in a different way? Because I said in the beginning of our show today, like, we're friendly, we're teammates, but this is a job, and you have different relationships with different guys. And if it's someone that is like family to you, which I think we all have guys like that, do you go and support more, or do you stick with that? Because it's literally it's almost like we've been trained on all of this. That is the correct, no doubt. How do you change that if it was one of your best buddies that you played with for 5 or 6 years next to them? Do you change your approach when you get a question like that?
Yeah, that's tough because, like you said, everyone's got guys that they're very close with in the locker room. I mean, it's a job. I mean, you are like not every guy on the team is best friends with every guy. That's not maybe that's what people think on the outside. On the inside, it's not the way it is. You're not like the closest friends with every single guy. It's almost impossible to be that way. But there are guys that you are closer to. And for me, if I was ever in that situation, I would try to handle it very similar to the way that I just kind of spoke about, right? You don't want to come out in the media and seem like you're turning your back on a guy that you consider almost family or your closest friend. Like, you don't want to do that. You do not want to turn your back on them. But at the same time, you don't want to sit here and completely downplay the current allegation or allegations, right? Like, you don't want to do that because if it ends up that you are wrong, that is going to look very poorly on you. And honestly, the organization and the NFL in general just want guys to, like, hey, we understand it's your buddy, we get it, but like, it's best you just don't comment on it. If the team hasn't commented on it, why do you think you should comment on it? Like, there's no message from the organization as is, besides we're aware of the situation, we have no further comment. So most likely you shouldn't have one either, because all that's going to do is piss off the people above you and put a bigger target on your back. Because then guess what? When something turns the opposite way that you think it should go in this matter, guess where all the media is coming? It's coming right back to you because they think you have all the information coming from one side of the story. So you might as well just I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I think we've all done it at some point, but just toe the company line on it. Toe the company line and just go from there on.
Do all the supporting behind the scenes.
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Brian, one other thing on this, and then I want to get to football. But from a football perspective, I asked Tausch this too this morning. Like, this is an important part of the calendar, right? Like, this is the most valuable time of the offseason. You're on the field. These are the closest to a training camp, practice, or an in-season practice, you will see you're installing the offense, you're installing the defense. Is that, I don't want to call it an oasis, but is that where are you able to just say, all right, whether you're Marshawn Lloyd, who is the protege, I mean, Josh Jacobs would drive him to practice every day while he was injured and talk to him. And that's been going on for 2 years. So obviously, I think it's safe to guess that he's probably having a hard time with this today. At the same time, he's probably a guy that, not knowing which way this is going to go, he better work his tail off and be productive during this time of the year. So from a football perspective, do you feel like guys are able to put this aside and just get down to work?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of how influential and how big of a part Jacobs is in the locker room, I think we've all said that for the last 2 years. You can tell his impact on the locker room and how much guys respect him and like him. I think it's very obvious to see, not just from who he is as a person, right, that we've gotten to see over the last 2 years, but you also see what he does on the field, and you respect the hell out of that more as a teammate as well, like how he battles through things. And so he's earned this respect. And obviously, it as a teammate, you would feel that, yeah, there's a little piece missing here, not just a little piece, kind of a big piece. But as Tausch said earlier, this is a job. I have a job. I have something that I need to go out and do, and that's prepare and learn this material and get ready for what's approaching us in a few months here. So, while it does feel like a piece is missing, and obviously you're concerned about your friend and all those things, and you understand that, once you get out there, you have to focus on A1, man, and that's your job and your assignments and what you need to do to prepare yourself. Because this, to me, I always, as much as I hated OTAs and I didn't enjoy them, I thought they were very valuable. I thought they were very valuable. It was like a love-hate thing.
Why did you hate them?
Well, because I just felt like guys would, especially defensive players, they would just take things to the extreme and they would turn it into a training camp practice. And you're out there in a helmet and you're taking face masks off the chest and you're like, come on, man. I'm just trying to get my fundamentals reset, right? Kick off rust, get moving again laterally and kind of feeling back out that, I don't want to say relearning process, but getting the muscle memory back with the offensive plays, the timing, your footwork, the rhythm, your hands. You're not trying to go out there and be the most physical human being possible. You're trying to go out there and be the most technical person possible. And you're trying to get that part of your game dialed in while also you rehear all the calls, you rehear all the assignments. You're going through all that in your brain and you're processing that. And to me, that was the most important part about OTAs, and that's why I liked it, because I got to go through all that. But then the negative aspect is kind of what I said. It always got taken to another level. It always got taken to let's see who's, the toughest guy out here in OTAs and helmets, and it just always
all Hudson
turned into that.
The all Hudson team.
Yep, it always turned into that, and that was always my one thing that I you knew going into it, it's going to happen. You knew which guys most likely it was going to be. And it's okay, well, if I could just somehow, if the defense just keeps their ones out there, I know I'll be okay. But if they start rotating, this is going to just turn into a training camp practice. So, but besides that, this is, to me, a big part of the development phase. And for a young football team, this is huge, in my opinion. You can't get enough of these reps where you can detail things, because once you're in season, you're game planning for a specific team, a specific look, a specific defense or player or whatever it may is. You're not detailing it as much as you are where it's just right now. This is detailing. This is, as Matt said, taking it down to the studs and starting over again. This is what this process is, and this is where you learn and you feel comfortable about what you then take into training camp, which then follows right into the season.
Well, the Packers have canceled player availability for today.
Oh, there we go.
So Matt LaFleur will speak at 11:05. and players will not speak at all.
So I guess here's my.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
It's okay, but what do they think that's going to go away after a week? I guess.
It will.
I guess is my.
And I understand Jason's is flummoxed by it. I get that, but I just keep coming back to I don't think you want to put a ton on the players this quickly. Let's get some information. There's nothing good is coming from interviewing a player today. Nothing from an organizational standpoint. Now, from a media standpoint and from yes, but from an organizational standpoint, I will rail against the organization when I think that they are in the wrong. I don't think this is one of them. I'm
going to be honest. Like, I understand that. I would say this. If you do not want to answer questions related to Josh Jacobs, I 100% respect that. 100%. And quite frankly, if I was a player, I would say, look, I don't know enough about it. I'm not comfortable talking about Josh. If you want to talk about football, I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but I'm not talking about the situation with Josh. I'm just not. Boom, done.
But because that's not how it goes, though, Jason. You know.
Well,
that.
why
can't
it?
Because
why can't
you
it go that
follow
way?
up, and because you guys have a job to do, and
right. But my job is not exclusively to how do you feel about Josh Jacobs. Like media starts with me. I get that, but the fact of the matter is there are a hell of a lot of storylines about this team that I was very much looking forward to talking to players about that have nothing to do with the allegations that Josh Jacobs is facing.
No doubt, but it's not their fault. It's not their problem. I agree with you. There's a lot. You don't have a ton of access. I get it, but I just think when you're looking at it from an organizational standpoint today, nothing good is going to come out of talking to players today because it is going to be about Josh Jacobs. You know that. There isn't going to be anything else that you're trying to do, and I know your time is limited. If I'm running the organization, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not putting my guys in a position this close to the news to have it happen. And you could say that's cowardly and everything else. I think it's smart.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go so far as to say cowardly. What I would say is that if you are, it's just like coaching a player to execute a play correctly. If you say, look, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to handle this. Don't let Will D and all those other weasels try and get you to say things that you shouldn't say. Just say, look, I'm not going to talk about Josh.
Yeah, but everything's on camera now, too. Jason, it's not as easy as just, well, here's a microphone, because you're going to have Bryan Bulaga up there, and Bryan could be stumbling around a little bit if he's a younger player and not have it, and then it's going to be like, well, he's so insensitive to this, and you say one or two things that are wrong, you're going to get crucified.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
There is nothing good that's going to come of it from a player's and an organizational standpoint. Matt LaFleur, hey, you think he wants to sit up there? If they said he wasn't going to talk, I would say that's BS. Go ahead, Blue.
No, I'm with you. I'm 100%. Matt has to talk. There's no way around that. And I'm with you. Like, Jason, I understand it from your perspective, because there's a ton of things that need to be covered with this team, and that besides what's going on with Jacobs, right? Like, there was a bunch of things that I was kind of anxious to hear about and read about and kind of see. So, like, yeah, it sucks. But I also, at the same point, I agree with Tausch. Like, they're not going to protect the players from these questions eventually coming, because they will eventually come. And they're going to have to put on their big boy pants and learn how to answer a question properly, or try to, or say, I'm not answering this question properly. But at the same time, I'm with Tausch that a day after this drops is probably not the best time.
You're going to get uneducated answers that are going to make guys, it's just not going to, there's nothing good that's coming. There's not one thing that's going to come out of this that's positive. And that's
so you give the guys a little more time.
Give them a little beat. Yep.
To give them a little time to, essentially and I know you hate this, Jason, but it's prepare an answer. That's essentially what I'm saying is you give them a little more time.
I'm on board with preparing an answer. I am on board with that.
But
Yeah,
Jason,
so,
I think for you to say, and again, man, I know this business now. I understand it, clicks, and I know you're going to say, well, it's not what. You're not going to have a story on Channel 3000 tomorrow about Evan Williams breaking down the safety spot or the backup quarterback. This is all going to be about Josh Jacobs. That's the way.
I was going
this
to talk
business.
to Matthew Golden. Actually, that was kind of my
I'm sure
priority today, and Jordan Morgan. Hey, Joe Thomas says you got great feet. Let's talk about that. Seriously, I was going to cover whatever Matt LaFleur said and whatever happens, and this is the God's honest truth. I was going to cover whatever Matt LaFleur says about this. Josh Jacobs has his court appearance today. That was going to be one story. The other stories were going to be about football. Now, would there have been a reference in there that said, while the focus may have been on the situation involving running back Josh Jacobs, the Packers did go through practice on Tuesday, blah, blah. There are things that people care about that I do want to write about, and I do want to talk about.
And unfortunately,
and
none of that's in play today. It's just not. It's not.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to. I'm sure they'll give us an extra day later in OTAs to make up for this, so we have more so we can't use the media auditorium or the locker room today. We will be at practice. All right, Brian. I do want to talk some football with you because Joe Thomas. I get to spend a lot of time with great tackles. And Corey Lindsley on occasion when we do our charitable work with Casa. He was a great center. But he was talking very highly about some time he spent with Jordan Morgan. And I am very curious if we could play that for you at some point, what you think, because that is one of the stories that I was planning on pursuing today. I'd like to talk to Jordan Morgan and what he thinks about this opportunity. Instead, we'll talk to Brian about where Jordan Morgan finds himself. We spent a lot of time this offseason discussing him, and now he will be on the field today at his left tackle spot. I need to tell you about all the great perks that come with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. 20% off at the Brewers team store, up to 50% off home game tickets, that express entry through the Associated Bank entrance at AmFam Field, pre-sale access to concerts and non-baseball events at AmFam Field, and of course, race day savings on the famous racing sausages run and walk and on the Brewers Baseball Academy if you want to register for that. So go to associatedbank.com/Brewers to find out more. More with Bryan Bulaga next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
At Junior Achievement, we believe students learn best by doing. With support from Pieper Electric, young people are gaining real-world insight into careers that keep our communities running, from energy and engineering to skilled trades and technical innovation. Through hands-on experiences in JA BizTown, students are discovering how their interests can turn into meaningful careers. Thank you to Pieper Electric for helping inspire the next generation of builders and problem solvers. Learn more at ja.org.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Summertime is when you'll find the largest selection of homes on the market.
But it's the bottom of the night, as it's also the time when homes move the quickest.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Andrea Woshinski. With more buyers competing, preparation, speed, and expert local guidance can make all the difference.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service at wendorfteam.kw.com.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
A real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
When you work smart, incredible things can happen. By joining Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers, you'll open the door to a brighter future. You'll learn and earn more. Enjoy awesome benefits across the board. Build a great career and feel empowered and supported every step of the way. The smartest career decision you'll ever make starts with Smart 18. Find out more today at smart18info.com.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Progressive presents the Passionate Sports Fan Checklist. Signed jersey of your favorite bench warmer? Check. 14 bobbleheads that look nothing like the players they're emulating? Check. Twin TVs so you can watch the game on 2 different networks simultaneously? Check. Life-size wall sticker of your favorite player that routinely freaks you out at night? Check. A second life-size wall sticker so after the first one freaks you out, you see the second and you're like, oh right, the wall stickers. Check and mate. Bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive and save on protection for the things on your checklist. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local Fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Second OTA practice of the offseason. So, Brian, we talked to Joe Thomas last week, and we talked to him about Jordan Morgan. He spent some time with Jordan Morgan when he came here to deliver his Hall of Fame beef. And I want you to hear now, you're going to have to suffer through him telling Tausch how great he is and what an astute question he asks.
Just say, I don't remember that part of this conversation.
He thought you were a true professional.
Oh. We can skip over that part.
You
like.
can chop that.
Hey, Riley, you work your magic so we don't have to hear how great Tausch is, but we do want to hear the very positive impression that Jordan Morgan made on Joe Thomas.
I will say, Jordan Morgan, he's a great athlete. He's got exceptional footwork. He's powerful. I mean, I was sitting there waiting to give him a bunch of tips about things that I thought he could do a better job of. We watched film that morning. And I said to him, honestly, buddy, there's a couple little things that I would do differently if it was me, but that's more specific to just how I played. And it's not like it's better or worse than what you're doing. And so we talked about a few things in general, but overall, I really was impressed with how he moved, the fastidiousness with which he approached his craft. I thought that everything I saw on the field was just impressive with where he placed his hands. Now, it was on a bag, granted, but I thought that he was just doing a really good job with that footwork, that technique, that hand placement, just the focus that he was playing with, how quick he was moving, getting up to the second level on his combination block. So I'm really hopeful for you guys. I'm not a huge Packer fan. I cheer for them as long as they're not playing against the Brownies. But I think that the offensive line is going to be one of their strengths this year. I think they really run that outside zone really, really well. Obviously, that's the core to what they're doing on offense. And it seems like Josh Jacobs is starting to understand how to run behind these guys with the outside zone. He's typically more of like a power back with the pin pulls and the powers and the crack G's and stuff. But I think the outside zone is going to be something that they're going to be featuring with Josh, and he's going to be pretty comfortable running behind that line this year.
What the heck did I miss that? Was somebody, what was all that noise?
Yeah, it was his
kids.
His kids
screaming.
There sounded like there might have been a disagreement in the Thomas household among several of his
You get Wagyu,
offspring.
you're getting just regular prime cut. What the, come on.
A lot in there, Brian. And again, as Joe says, amid all that praise, he's going up against managers holding bags, as he described it. So we have to be careful about getting too giddy about footwork in phase 2. But encouraging from him, who having spent some time with Jordan Morgan. Also interesting that he's taught, because he spent some time with the coaching staff. Also interesting, makes you wonder if they're planning on going a little more with whoever the running back is, with more of the outside zone that we've been talking about for so long on this program. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe, with how he sees the game and how he played the game, I mean, he talks and you listen and you take a lot from it. So I'll just say this. Everything that Joe said about Jordan Morgan's footwork, I think I've been saying that, and Tausch has been saying that's never been the issue. The footwork has never been the issue. The feet have always been there. That was one of the first things I noticed from him as a rookie in the preseason. Was like he's got good feet. Like he can move his feet really well. But then Joe touched on it second, hand placement, but we're only hitting a bag. And that's the second part of the equation that I think we're going to have to see if that turned the corner this offseason, is being able to handle power, being able to use your good feet, get you in a good position to stop rushers on speed rushes that then turn it into power. Are you able to effectively shut down the rushers in two ways, right? If you take away both of their avenues of attacking you as a tackle, then yes, you've made a big turn for him, especially because he hasn't played the position. I've only played right tackle and guard, really. You've made a big turn as a player, and you've made a big jump, which I'm hoping we all see. And obviously, Joe mentioned the run game. That's really hard to see as well without any pads on, without any real bodies. I mean, you can climb up to the second level, and that's all fine. But Joe touched on it with the footwork. Like, that's always been there. Does the footwork then complement the power aspect of it? And that's my biggest question, because you could have the footwork, but if you in the back of your mind is like, every tackle knows their weakness. I knew my weakness. Tausch knew his weakness. Cliff would probably say he didn't have a weakness. Dave would say he didn't have a weakness. But we all know our weakness as players, right? And you protect against that. But if Jordan Morgan knows that my weakness is really when I get taken high on a speed rush and they turn that into a heavy bull rush, am I going to be able to stop that? I can get my feet out there in time, but can I stop that bull rush? It's matching those two things together. If he matches those two things together in this offseason and in training camp, I think he can have a good season, right? It's when the doubt comes into your mind that I'm struggling with this, then everything starts to get like wacky. Then you start pass setting to take away power, and then they start using speed and they jump inside or they spin inside, and you just get out of your game. So can he dictate the game to D ends? And that's starting with, can he handle power? And that's what it comes down to. And if he can do that, if that's something that he's effectively changed in his game and that he's really worked on, then yeah, a lot of optimism for sure.
And within that, Brian said it exactly right. You dictate what happens. You play to your strength. There's going to be some moments that you won't. Great pass rushers will get you out of your strength. They'll know that. But for the most part, that's where Jordan has to figure that piece of it out. How can I position myself? What do I want them to do to me? I wanted people to bull rush me. Brian, I'm not sure where you wanted it. Earl, who joined us last week. I'm gonna punch your chest through your backbone. That's what he wanted to do. Everybody has to find that. Jordan, that's where playing and getting that's where that comes from. You don't necessarily even know because you've played talented guys, but until you really start playing and getting into your rhythm, how can I get to where I want to be, where I am dictating what you can do to me? And by the way, I want you to do that to me. That's when you figure out how to be a good offensive tackle.
Yep. Mine was the same way as you, Tush. I wanted to take away I wanted him to power rush. I wanted to invite a power rush because I always looked at it as like you don't want to get into speed games with guys like Von Miller and Micah Parsons. You don't want to play. Yep. Yeah, you don't want to play that game with guys. Like that's not because then they can start taking you up the field and looping back in or spinning. Like you want to make them feel like the way I'm going to try to get through this guy is through him. I'm taking away their speed rush. I'm taking away that angle, or that if they do speed rush, I'm just going to run you up the field, and then Aaron's going to step up in the B gap, and then you guys are all screwed because then your D line coaches are going to be screaming at you. You can't allow that big of a B gap. So then they're never going to do it again once he gets burned a few times through it. So my whole thing was, yes, make them go through me. And I looked at it as I do it again once he gets burned a few times through it. So my whole thing was, yes, make them go through me. And I looked at it as they.
How do you invite that? Help people understand how you get pass rushers to do what you want them to do.
You take away it's the first two steps. That's where everything gets done. The junction point, as I called it. It's like, all right, if I beat you to the junction point, I'm kind of forcing your hand. Now, when you're that's why playing on the road in loud places makes it that much more difficult because you can't get there the same or as easily. And the big thing, you can't get beat inside. And I always, Blue's the same way. It's like, run the hump. Our coach would say, make them run the hump. Their coaches, defensive line coaches, always say, get these guys uncomfortable. Don't let them get their feet set where they can dictate. Get them where they have to keep their feet moving the whole time. That's where you get the power. The power comes into play, and you have freaks like Reggie where it didn't matter. You get to that junction point, you're just going to be like, whatever. That junction point is whatever it is. That's what separates the Micah Parsons, the Reggie Whites. They don't care about your junction point. They're going to do what they're going to do. That's why they're special, and they made big money, and they made big impact plays.
Yeah. I mean, Tausch said it. I mean, to me, it was getting to a spot, knowing the pass rusher I'm going against, knowing what he likes to do on his third step, maybe his fourth step, and getting to that spot, having my feet not set in stone, but I'm in a good spot out in space that I know that where I am in correlation to TJ or my right guard, I know where I am in correlation to him. I know how deep I am. So most of the time this is happening at around 3.5, 4-ish yards, so to speak. And if Aaron's setting up at 7, maybe 8, depending on what it may be, I know where I'm going to make first contact and where we're initially going to go is going to bring me to around that 5.5, 6 yard area. And Aaron's going to be somewhere in this vicinity. So I understand the space where I am in correlation with TJ, what Aaron's probably – I never really knew what Aaron would be doing, right? He could be holding it. He could be jumping up in the pocket, moving back. He could be manipulating the rusher as the rusher's going. So he did a lot of that on his own. But it's getting to my spot that I know this is where I know I need to be to win. And if I'm going to have this guy bull rush me, I know I can strain through this pass rush and set up in a good spot. Even if I get pushed back a couple yards, I've created enough width on my initial pass set that I've created. Well, we always like to look at it as like a baseball plate, right? Like a home plate. That's the way you want that pocket to look. It kind of comes in like that. I always looked at it a little bit wider at the back end. But when you create that initial width with your pass set as a tackle, you give yourself some breathing room on that bull rush. You give yourself those 2 hop backs to settle in and get your hands right and do all those things, which is hugely important, which is why we always got asked when we played, Dave and I, why do you guys take 3.5 foot splits? Why do you guys split so wide? Why are you so far away from your guard? Well, I just bought myself another 2 yards of width on my initial pass set that the DN then has to go out that wide too. So, like, I always looked at those little things that, like, that's an extra yard and a half, 2 yards now that if I
game
get
within the
I have
game.
that much space. Yeah.
Well,
if
I'm countering that, I'm going to line up wider on your right guard, and I'm going to pick the hell out of you.
Oh, believe me, TJ hated it.
Oh, I know.
TJ hated it. He absolutely hated it. But I would always leave a nice drag hand for him. I always had a nice drag hand, and my eyes were always checking inside because he hated getting ear-holed too and things like that. So, like, I understood. Like,
yeah, that's always a tough convo. And your ET comes and the guy just completely buries your guard, and it's like, well, you got to have your head on a swivel, kid. Let's go.
yeah. Like, we had a lot of those conversations, but it would most of the time TJ laid the hit to the ETer. We'll just put it that way. If TJ would see it a little bit early and would put that big old bowling ball head right into the chest.
He does have a big old
DN.
bowling ball head, doesn't he?
Oh, man.
Big old melon.
It's like a 4X helmet or something.
How does he ever find a hat that he can actually wear?
He can't. I think it's unbuckled. It's got to be like unbuckled and maybe taped right at the end, like where the straps are.
Yeah.
Because it's the biggest noggin ever.
Yeah, he does. He
It's
always has to.
ginormous.
He has to get out like athletic tape because then the little plastic holes in the back, they don't work.
Yeah, exactly. You had to do something, but like that was. But in all honesty, like to me, wrapping this up with Jordan Morgan, he needs to figure that out in his game. Like that's like we could talk about, is he going to be consistent? Is he not? Like those are all things that and that took me years to figure out playing, right? Like I wasn't doing that stuff as a rookie. Like I wasn't taking that big of a split and understanding that space where I was as a rookie.
That's why it would have been
I did
awesome for him to play a little bit more last year at left tackle.
Right.
We knew that's, but
Yeah.
there's going to be growing pains, no doubt. But that's the difference. If you can, and by the way, you're gonna have rough spots. You're gonna have somebody that just gets you, and you have to be willing to fight through that because I don't care how. Jonathan Ogden had bad days. Dwight Freeney had. There's great pass rushers are gonna get theirs. How you handle that is the biggest part, and that's, Jordan's going to have some down spots. He's going to have people writing and saying negative things about him. Wipe it, because the thing he does have, and I think we've all noticed, if you have the feet, you can figure everything else out. Doesn't mean you will, but you can, and he's got the feet.
Yes.
All right, Brian.
It's never been the problem. Yeah.
We because of the Josh Jacobs story, we didn't get to the kangaroo court that we discussed during our time with Corey for CASA of Brown County. Apparently, there was some sort of kangaroo court. I don't know enough of the details, and I wanted to ask Tausch about that. We'll have to save that for next Wednesday.
What a
so
tease.
don't let me forget.
Riley will still be producing. Riley, just write that down. Kangaroo court.
We'll mark it down.
Yep. Now that
Brian, how much better was this appearance today without Jesse? By the way, like it was just we got into it today.
Yeah, I felt like it went a little smoother. If I had to be dead honest with you, there was nothing really interfering, running interference with it. So that was, hey, you know what? I got to be ready for whatever Jesse throws my way. And today just went as good as it could go. And it just so happened that he wasn't here. So
funny how that works.
So that's the way it is.
Maybe we can go back to those Wednesdays when he wasn't on the show because he was taking care of his dog every Wednesday. Brian, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you.
That is the great Bryan Bulaga. He joins us every Wednesday on the Yingling Guest Hotline. Want to remind you, again, I hope you never have to make the call. If you don't, then you've never been seriously injured in an accident. But if you have been injured, you need the best team on your side, and that's what Gruber Law Offices is. 40 years of winning cases and making sure that people who have been injured are taken care of the right way. So go to the website, gruber-law.com, or make the call. One call, that's all, 414-276-6666. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount liquor. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
This is Wisconsin basketball head coach Greg Gard. This is 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD2, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Williams House begins now. Again, Matt LaFleur is scheduled to speak with reporters down at practice at 11:05. Try and get back on the clock here so we can talk to Homer for a while, and then Riley and Tausch can.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Yo,
bring him back.
Good.
Miss him.
Do a Boston accent.
Yeah, do you have one?
No, not a good one. Not like, all the other accents I've done on this show or Jesse's.
What is your go-to accent?
My go-to?
Yeah.
I think it was the Irish, and then I started out with this one, and then everyone was like, oh, this is how you're starting? That's not going to be too good, my friend.
I don't think that's a pretty good little Irish accent.
All right, I'll take it. Thank you.
See.
There were some pretty bad ones, though, if I remember early on in your time filling in for Jesse. Am I wrong in my recollection of that? They were pretty widely panned.
Yes, very widely panned. But, whether or not they were good is up for debate.
I want to get to what Zaire Franklin had to say, because I know Riley spent some time editing the audio of that. Because he says a naughty word in there that we can't play on the radio. Tausch, I just want to briefly go back to the Packers' decision to not make players available today after the open OTA practice.
Had a couple of people text me that that's soft.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a fair point, and I don't
I didn't
agree
say
with your
it.
point. No. Your point that you
Soft.
made earlier, you made that
okay.
point.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I don't know if I would use the phrase soft. What I would argue is that with the proper preparation, which I don't think is too necessarily extensive, you can have your. I mean, this is not the first time this happened. And your point, again, what I'm saying is it's well taken that it happened yesterday. So the timeline for this is there's an immediacy to it. I get it.
And I want to just make sure I am all for transparency, and I want guys to communicate. That's not the case. I am also going to say this is a new era. The media scrutiny and the social media component and the clipping and all of those things, because you could say, well, you could say all the right things, but your body language, or you could misspeak just a little bit, and it could become a blank storm. That's why I understand where the Packers are coming from on this, and I don't have any problem with them waiting. And I'm guessing next week, during the second week of OTAs, while there'll be more information after the court case or the court hearing today, and there'll be more information from what Matt LaFleur has to say and what Josh's attorneys, and I'm sure the victims' attorneys. All of those things will help formulate that plan as far as how you want to respond and do that, where you actually have some semblance of knowledge rather than just blah, 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 blah. And that's not going to do anybody any good anyways.
Yeah, I think it's also important to say that, this is not a story I want to cover, right? However people look at the media today, and I understand there is a wide variance in how people look at the media, and I get that we are not some people's favorite people. Totally understand that. But I did want to talk to Jordan Morgan today. I did want to talk to Matthew Golden today. I thought those were some important conversations that I wanted to get to about guys that are going to fill really important roles on this team this year. And I do hope, because that is a finite amount of time that we have in the locker room to get to a variety of people. There were a lot of things on my to-do list today. And now, while some of that would have been taken up by Josh Jacobs stuff, again, I didn't anticipate anyone wanting to come out and say things that were going to be newsworthy, because there are too many guys and there are too many people that are good at their job in management of this team that would have made it very clear that, look, do not add any fuel to this conversation. Just say, look, if you guys want to talk about football, I'm happy to do that. But beyond that, I'm not going to talk anything about what's going on with Josh. Period. Finn. I do want to play what Zaire Franklin had to say on the podcast with Kyle Long. We'll do that after Tausch tells us about UW Credit Union.
And I am a member. I believe Jason is a member. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You're proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Going to help you reach your financial goals. And if you're ready to give fees the stiff arm, UW Credit Union can help. No monthly fees. Overdrafts never cost more than $5. They save members over $12 million per year. They have the great app. They're out in the community. Doesn't matter where you go, UW Credit Union is there for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Again, that's uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Think you've got championship luck in your corner? 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are giving one lucky listener and a guest a chance to play in the ESPN Milwaukee Open. Listen weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. June 15th through the 17th and be the right caller to qualify. 15 listeners will each be paired with a golfer in the U.S. Open Championship, and the highest finish wins the grand prize twosome.
Thanks to Delzer, a division of Proof, The Bog, Carbliss, the Jewelry Center, PCI, Captivate Exhibits, Welky's, Fifth Third Bank, Epic Color, and Jet Out.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Get out of the house this summer and head to Road America, conveniently located between Madison, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. This legendary 4 4-mile, 14-turn road course has been hosting the world's best racers since 1955. Bring the whole family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. You can camp on site, explore the grounds, and take in the racing your way. It's more than just a race, it's a full experience. Moto America is up next, and it's coming May 29th through the 31st. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Your grill just got an upgrade, and it's right down the road.
Burn Pit BBQ is now available at Walmart.
That means no waiting, no guessing. Just grab it, fire up the grill, and get to work.
We're talking premium rubs, sauces, and seasonings made for real flavor and real results.
Every single time you cook.
Whether it's a quick weeknight dinner or a full weekend cookout with friends and family, Burn Pit BBQ helps you bring bold, consistent flavor to every bite.
Head to your local Walmart and find Burn Pit BBQ today, right in your neighborhood.
Because better BBQ should be easy to get and even easier to enjoy.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Among the other things we'll see for the first time today at practice, which kicks off in less than an hour, is the Packers' new defense under Jonathan Gannon, their first-year defensive coordinator. And Zaire Franklin is new to that defense, although he has some history with Jonathan Gannon. They were both in Indianapolis at the same time, although Gannon was coaching the defensive backs. And he has already corresponded with his running mate, Edgerrin Cooper, and appearing on a podcast that Kyle Long, the former NFL player, hosts. Zaire Franklin, who I was hoping to talk to today as well, spoke about what he thinks he and Edgerrin Cooper are capable of. Here's that conversation.
This Cooper guy, I feel like y'all have a shot at being. Is there a team with a better off-ball middle of the field than you guys?
No, there's not. No, and I tell. I'm not joking. Like when I got traded, he followed me, hit me, you feel me, just showing love. And I told him, listen, we got to be the best linebacker in the league. And I love like being at Green Bay like already just because. Man, it's just such a real standard of winning and tradition of winning. And, like, I'm the type of person, like, man, put the bar up here and let me live up there. Like, you know what I mean? Raise the bar for me. Raise my expectations. Raise my standard and force me to get up there. I love that type of stuff. But I just told him, I'm like, bro, like, in order for our defense to really go get one of them banners, me and you going to have to be the best too. That's what we've been working towards. I don't want to preach to him too much. It's only May, but he's a grinder too. He's putting that work in, and we pushing each other to be better. So that's all you want.
Tausch, I don't know the other 31 teams off the ball linebacker duos. And I don't know what kind of season Edgerrin Cooper is going to have in this system. He did not have the impact he had as a rookie last season. And I don't know where Zaire Franklin is in terms of in 2024. He was an all-pro last year, not as much, and the Colts had no problem moving on from him in their trade that brought them Colby Wooden. How do you view this tandem as we get ready to see this defense for the first time today? And what's real? I'm not putting expectations on them of being the best tandem in the league, but how good do they have to be for this defense to be good?
Yeah, they need to be good. Edgerrin Cooper needs to take another step and consistently. I think we saw that late in the season last year, especially in that playoff game. You remember he got hurt. And he missed some of that second half that was a debacle on the defensive side of the ball. So I think he has a chance to be one of those guys. Now, whether or not he takes that step, we'll find out. As far as Zaire Franklin, I mean, if the Colts felt like he was the stud on the ball, off the ball linebacker that he believes, and I love that he believes that, they're not trading him. He's older. The Packers obviously wanted him. They felt like they could get a younger defensive player, and they made the swap. So I think obviously you could tell he's a leader. He's with what he's done with the Colts. He is getting older. He did not have a great season according to Pro Football Focus. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. I don't follow that like you do.
No, you're correct. Yep.
So there's always a reason guys get traded at this point in their career. So we shall see how he fits with what Gannon wants to do. But to say that they shouldn't be a really good tandem is, I think, very fair. To try and put themselves up at the top, let's see it. And if you do, I think Edgerrin Cooper does have a chance to kind of elevate into that next step. He was during that draft class, you kept saying he is the best off-the-ball linebacker in this draft. Why is he slipping? Well, thankfully he did, and I think he's been a really good player for Green Bay. Not as consistent as we'd want, but I think you see his speed, you see his physicality. There's a lot to really like, and I think he's getting it. His rookie season, there was a lot of questions. He didn't know where he's lining up. That's why he didn't play as much. Then he started figuring it out. Now he has a guy, obviously, he is somebody that I think takes his craft seriously. He's going to put in the work. He's going to probably help Edgerrin Cooper even unlock himself even a little bit more, and that is all great. But as far as the physical, in order to be that tandem, you got to be sideline to sideline. You got to be disruptive. You got to be a ball getter. You have to take the football away. That's what made the Bears guys back in the day, the 49ers guys, the guys that people talk about being those difference makers. Tampa won a championship with middle linebackers that made those kind of plays, and I believe changed the way the Green Bay Packers have addressed that spot. They've been more aggressive in securing guys they think can be that. So if these guys are a top 10 tandem, I think we'd be pretty excited about it.
We need to get to Homer. I need to get to practice at some point. Matt LaFleur again scheduled to speak at 11:05 this morning. Want to remind you don't have to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped. Your next getaway is waiting in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options. Dream Dance Steakhouse, The Marketplace, Rockin' Brews, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, that's the one I got to try. Cream City Coffee Company, food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Steve the Homer True joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 12 ounce Frito-Lay Lay's or Kettle Cooked potato chips or Tostitos Cantina tortilla chips, 2 for $4.50. 48 ounce selected varieties, Cedar Crust Premium Ice Cream, $3.99. Fresh 80% lean ground beef, $4.49 a pound. Bicolor sweet corn, 6 for $3.
Safe.
What?
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville Famous Sausage Race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Your local bar could be your ticket to a global stage. Michelob Ultra's Soccer Shootout is giving fans the chance to win tickets to the FIFA World Cup 26 at Social House, Menominee Falls, starting at 7 p.m. on Thursday, May 28th. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Stenny's North Shore, Potawatomi, and Spanky's Waterford. Your neighborhood, your shot at the world's biggest game. Play for the chance to witness history. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Void where prohibited.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-810-8599. That's 800-810-8599. 800-810-8599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Joining us now on the Yuengling GOAT hotline, the greatest of all time when it comes to Wisconsin sports talk. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. Homer, not the oldest talk show host in America. DJ Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. 6 generations, family owned and operated. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I am awesome. I had blood taken today, and I've had blood taken because I was sick probably 200 times. This was the greatest ever. I felt nothing. It's never happened before. I don't know how she did it. And so
you're talking about like the phlebotomist? Just like the puncture in was no problem?
No, when when you give blood and they do it on your vein and on your elbow, right? Just like giving blood, and like you always feel it when they prick it in with the needle, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Most of
felt nothing.
I would say
felt nothing.
Is that good or bad?
It's great.
It's amazing. Of course, it's great.
Why is that great? Just so I know.
Because it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt at all. It's as if. I mean, I don't know how she did it. I don't look, of course, because I passed out when I was a freshman in high school when they.
You're scared of needles?
No, blood. I don't like my own blood. Now, I got better when I had to give blood every day for I don't know how many months when I was sick. But anyway, I never thought this would occur. This is more amazing than The Miz. Has anybody ever given blood and felt nothing when they prick you with a needle? Nothing.
Well, given how amazing you think The Miz is, that's pretty high praise from you.
Yeah, plus Jason, you have the greatest people to work for. I don't know who your bosses are. I mean, if you reported any story other than Josh Jacobs, they wouldn't have let me go.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I was there with Mossy Kate. I'm like, you're going to talk about something that's now. I mean, they would have said, "Don't go." If
no, wait a minute.
No, Jason's his own boss. Jason can dictate.
I lived it.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
No one said that we weren't going to report the Josh Jacobs story.
That's the only story. There is no other.
That's exactly
story.
what I said. Yeah, that's all that everybody will talk about, and that's all everybody will ask about.
That's not the media now. That's the media 25 years ago.
No, it's still the media now.
Well, I know, but I'm saying it didn't start now, this premise of the media now. This has nothing to do with the media now. If the media doesn't have that standard, they got a problem. You're going to go there and talk about something other than Judge. Don't even
What are you
go.
talking about?
That's
Jason didn't interview Jordan Love. Where was it when you were talking to Rudy Ford instead? What was that one, Jason? There was like a big story, and you decided not to talk to Rodgers. You decided to talk to Rudy Ford. Jason does what Jason wants.
No, but that whatever that time was, I don't
know.
No,
it was the Rudy Ford deal. I don't remember. I know Jason knows. I can see him smirking.
I don't even remember. What is the Rudy Ford?
No, he did a big exclusive with Rudy Ford when I think Aaron was Aaron had done something like that was national news, and Jason decided, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm getting Rudy Ford today.
Law. When it's about breaking the law, it's a whole different. That's not. I commend the Packers. That's exactly what you do. In addition to having LaFleur do my Del Harris story, because, hey, you guys can ask whatever you want. I'm not a party of this discussion.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want about me. Whatever you say, accurate, whatever. You just know I'm not a party to it. I have no comment. And so I understand your job. That's my position, and I have to accept whatever you write and whatever you say. However you do it, that's the part I take. The part you take is, this is a Del Harris. It was about when people asked about trades. I don't comment. Next question. And then if there's someone new who asks him, you go, Homer, tell him the Del Harris deal. Then that's the deal. So and then nobody asks questions about it anymore. But there's no other story. I don't know what day that ends, but today there's no other story.
Rudy?
I can certainly cover all the aspects of the Josh Jacobs story and write a separate story about something football related that some people might actually be interested in reading. And by the way, you can read more than one story, and you can talk about more than one topic on a radio program.
That's true.
Not today. That's not good reporting.
Counterpoint.
Nobody cares about anything else. Now, your other stories about this would be, well, What mighty play?
Dunkin' Donuts story you should put out today.
In the league?
Put that the story of Ricky Jean-Francois
right.
and the Dunkin' Donuts that he has.
Other players in similar situations. Okay, now, I want to add this. I will be surprised, and I don't know him, even shocked, if the charges include a felony. If there is a felony charge.
There is a felony charge.
Doesn't mean, no, it hasn't been,
yes, he's been charged.
Settle. Okay, he's been charged. If he's found guilty of, or if that isn't settled before, whatever. I can be wrong. If he did it, he'd go to prison as many years as they send you. But given the stories about Josh Jacobs, I would be surprised if he's found guilty, I should have put it this way, of a felony. Even more than surprised.
This is all great. I appreciate the journalism 101 lesson on what people are interested in, but what you're doing right now is not reporting. This is your theory on what's going to happen in the future.
Okay,
that's not reporting.
You report on other similar situations, what happened with other running backs. You report on other things that have happened in the Packers in the past. Everything, as far as reporting today, is how it relates to the Josh Jacobs story.
There's a finite amount of things that relate to the story. Their running back situation is what it is. I covered that in today's story.
You want to do that? That's relating. Yes. If Josh Jacobs was found guilty, what do they do at running back? If it's settled soon. The third part is.
Well, again, what is this journalism course that you're teaching?
I love this.
If this happens.
Well, he's been around 70 years, Jason. He's a journalist.
This is not about you, Jason.
No, this is about Jason. You're talking to Jason about journalism.
The premise didn't meant to be, but maybe it'll come next.
No, it's come off that way for sure. And I love it. For the record, I love it.
The media is different now. It is not. It's different now if anybody's allowed to go there and do a story other than about some connection to Josh Jacobs.
I've been on board with your little soliloquy here to Jason because it's super fun because he's super irritated. But as far as the media is not different than it was in your day, no, it's completely different.
Not in regards to this.
No, it's completely different.
All right, fine.
All right, good deal.
What
other advice would you give Jason as far as how he should go?
I'd love to hear more advice.
Packer reporter ever.
He's the GOAT? He's the GOAT, Pack. We got to call this. We need a GOAT sponsor. We need a GOAT partner. We got two GOATs.
Al Johnson.
The only one in his league is Cliff Crystal, but that's like Don Hudson.
He's been retired for a long time.
Yes, yeah. But I'm old enough to have experienced both.
Okay.
And yes, Jason's approach is not the same as Cliff Crystal, but
it is definitely not. He is the GOAT. He is the U of the beat.
They're the two best.
Okay. Since the only story should be about Josh Jacobs.
You want the best TV
guy? Who's the best TV guy?
Tim Van Voren.
No.
Oh, man. You've had Tim on your show for 30 years, and he's not even your best?
No, it's Cliff Crystal.
He's fine.
And Jason Wilde. TV is Tim Van Voren and Dennis Krause.
What? No, you just said it wasn't Tim Van Voren. You put it as Dennis Krause.
No, I didn't say alone. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, that's true. I didn't.
I know how people feel when I talk.
That's fair.
It's a tie, just like it is with Jason and Cliff
I think you're throwing Van Voren in late because you feel bad.
No, here we go. I should have known. Now you're telling me.
I think you have Krause, and then you just you felt like, oh my God, he's right. Van Voren's been with me for 20 years. I better throw Van Voren in there. I think that's what just happened right there.
Anything else that I did that I didn't
Jason,
realize
is my analysis on this because you're the big J guy here. My analysis is pretty good on that.
Your analysis.
I'm an analyst. I'm not a journalist.
I can't change your analysis. I can only tell you what I did.
I know, but I think you're doing some. You're
Tell
doing
me anything else. Okay, fine. Yes.
So, Homer, how would you approach this from a Packer standpoint? I'm done with your journalism. No, I'm asking you. You're the guest. I already talked about how.
You told me why I said what I said. Why would I even comment? Okay, what was your next question?
I don't know now.
Explain why I said it.
No, what?
All right, I'm gonna let you guys discuss this. I'm gonna walk down to practice.
Where are you going?
So I'm there. I'm going down to practice. So
There's
I'm there
no
for
media
Matt LaFleur.
now. There's no
Matt LaFleur. Matt
Oh.
LaFleur is still talking at 11:05, and from what I've been told, the only thing that matters is the Josh Jacobs story. So there will
today
be
he's
no
right.
questions about football.
By the
I
way,
assume.
Homer's right about the Josh Jacobs being the only thing that
Right,
matters
but I
today.
don't get to talk to Matt LaFleur again tomorrow to ask him about Jordan Morgan's progress or about Zaire Franklin assimilating to the defense.
That's
I only
true.
get him today.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got to ask him those questions about that too.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can.
you
Nobody
do.
said you
Yeah.
can't.
I'm leaving.
Right. Thanks.
See you later.
Thanks. Yes.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks,
so
Doug.
Homer,
What
how
was
would
your question again?
Yeah, how would you handle if you're Matt LaFleur today? How are you handling this whole situation?
As it's always said, you've been through this. It's just, it's a legal thing. It's in this process. And as I said, then I would say what Del Harris said, because you're right. You will get video of how he says it. But that's what I'd say. I say, just so you understand, it's a legal thing and it's in its process, but I don't comment on stuff like this. And I understand that makes your job harder. You can write and say whatever you want about me and how I handle it. That's fine. I'm not a part of the discussion. So
okay.
Now, if he says, "What about running back?" What are you going to do at running back?
They're going to make a trade.
Well, I would say my answer to that would be at the present time we're not doing anything. Well, is this the part? Then I said, hold on. I told you this is how it works.
I do think you, and again, we'll let this thing play itself out.
Right.
Don't know how this will end up affecting Josh Jacobs and his status with the Packers. Nobody knows. I don't think the Packers know. But what you do know is there's going to be some flux. Like there is a lot of moving parts that you maybe didn't think about.
Not May. I'm not sure.
No, there's flux.
If it was July, maybe. They've got time.
They do have time, but I also think now is the time. It's June 1 is coming. There's going to be there's some veterans that might be getting released, or one of the things I've seen, and this is obviously his brother is the coach with the Cardinals. There's some potential. The Cardinals, I believe, they drafted the young fella. He's going to be their guy. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's Connor. Who's the other guy? Riley, that's with the Cardinals. There's a couple of options that are veterans down with Arizona.
It's not so James Conner, is it?
It is.
Okay.
There's some options there that I would think would be at least worth looking into. Not that you need to do it now, but even if doesn't count. Even if no, it does. Even if it does. Even if
how does it count?
Because
they're looking into things every day. We're looking into it.
Yes, you have to look and see what the availability is. Homer, none of these trades or none of these transactions happen in a blink. Hardly any of them.
Because they're aware of all this stuff all the time.
So you want
to
look into saying, what would this look like if Connor is somebody that you want, or if there's another guy down there, and you think, what would it take for us at this point to do that? Everything changes.
I'm expecting nothing.
Okay. I agree. I would expect nothing. But even if all of this scenario with Josh goes away, you still have mini camps and OTAs that you need another body in there, more than likely. You don't want to run with 2 or 3 backs because that's where hamstrings. So there's other aspects of this that you have to look at as well. And that could just
totally
be
different.
That could just be picking up an undrafted guy or someone that doesn't have a team.
If you see a body, then you can do that.
Yeah. All right.
That's fine.
Homer, before I let you go, you're talking Miz. I brought this up yesterday. I don't know if you did on your show. Is it possible Miz could be the biggest star professional athlete in the state of Wisconsin before this summer's out?
He is now. There's no one equal up until
Micah or Jordan. You don't because the Packers trump the Brewers and most.
Not this time of the year.
Okay.
When they get closer, there's nothing. I mean, I can't influence what people believe based on the team they like. But in terms of where it is right now, it's not even close.
Do you have more? Do you have more?
Ever?
Huh?
First ever? Do you ever say that about Jordan? No, never. Never.
It's been impressive. We had Rock on yesterday, and what is going on with this pitching lab? Is Matt Arnold? You were the biggest David Stearns fan of anybody I've ever met.
And Matt Arnold from the day he took his place.
Has Matt Arnold overtaken Stearnsy for you?
Yeah, but you give it to Stearns. This is the great thing about Arnold, and check to see if it's accurate. So Stearns gets his job, and generally you hire people that you worked with. He hired Arnold because he worked against him. That's incredible.
It's like
and
Abe
as
Lincoln.
A result, the greatest
kind of
thing
like Abe Lincoln.
I don't know.
Bringing on all of the secretaries and the cabinet members that were his political rivals.
Yeah, I guess that would be. You can go there.
How do you not? Come on, man. You're a historian. Come on, man.
I'm not going baseball, Abe Lincoln, but you can. I don't.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. Come on.
All
you
right.
think I was around with Lincoln?
No, but I bet you've done some research on it. I mean, you didn't do any research on the matter. Okay, continue.
But anyway, no, I did research from the very beginning. I said, has he been better than Stearns? I'll have to look. Stearns created it. You get credit for bringing in Arnold. The only reason the Brewers are good right now is David Stearns, both for what he did and then hiring Arnold. I mean, but yes, they can win the World Series. I was going to bet 30-1, but now it's down to 17-1, and that's not good enough odds. The Brewers could win the World Series, yes. And we will know how serious they are by additions they make to the team at some point this year to help this year. Not a long
What do they
deal,
need?
A ton of money.
What do they need to do? They can't give up their top prospects, right? You can't get into that game. You can?
Yeah, they could give up one of them. They have a number. They're not giving up the one because this is a shorter-term thing. They're not adding a player for 4 years.
So would you go arm or would you go bat?
But it's whatever's there. I go everything. I got to make the team better for the playoffs to beat the Dodgers and beat Atlanta. Everything. They can need everything. Whatever they look at. This is the way it was with Ron Wolf. Whatever they do, I approve of.
Okay.
So it could be anything. Hitting, it's about the quality of the person. That's what it comes to, and whether they think they can get the team over the top this year. So they're not willing to. And the key is the young pitching because they will never pay for the pitching when they get older. And it appears they may have enough, but maybe they want another pitcher. So whatever they have to pay or whatever they can get that will help the team this year, they can win the World Series this year.
You think this team is better than last year's?
Yeah. And I mean, I think they'll show us if it is based on what they add to the team. I mean, they have some weak hitting, but some of that.
I want Mike Trout. Why don't we go get Mike Trout?
If you can get him for this year, sure. For 1 year.
It's 3 or 4 years, but you could have the Angels. Let the Angels pay some of that. No?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I'm not. You're not doing anything for 3 years.
Okay.
No, that's too much. But yeah, if they will pay everything, you get Mike Trout for free. Sure. You got any other?
Yeah, you got to get him. You got to get him for free. You're not going to get him for free. You're going to have to get a bunch of prospects, and that's where
I'm not giving a bunch. No, that's for something longer term that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the rest of this year, next year at the longest, and that's not going to cost me as much. Because I don't know. It's all about the young pitching. The most important part is the starting pitching and how good they are. I want them to use them as little as possible because they need to be ready for the playoffs. This is you don't want to. The innings is an issue.
You got this division wrapped already, and it's not even June 1.
No, I didn't say that.
You just said get ready for the playoffs.
Yes, they're in the playoffs. Do you have to win the division to make the playoffs?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
All right.
Are they going to win the division? I think maybe probably, but it doesn't matter. They got to make the playoffs. That's the key.
All right, Homer, we're going to let you go with you. Okay, go ahead.
There's one other thing I was trying to think
what is
of
it?
What it was as far as the Brewers. About Ortiz.
Okay.
Like they have players that can't hit, but the defense is very important to them because that helps the pitching. Also, the closer that went goofy yesterday, I'm worried about him.
What worries you?
Well, because of what he did, not that, but look, if he claims, which he does, that he did that because the manager of St. Louis had his pitchers throwing at Brewer hitters the day before, do I have that right?
Yes, you do.
Then he's an idiot. Doesn't he know the baseball rules? If the opposing manager is hit,
well, they are unwritten. Pitchers, these rules are unwritten.
Well, this one is pretty written.
Okay.
Okay, you be the pitcher. Okay, not him. You be the pitcher, and you find out, and you believe it, that the manager of the other team had his pitchers throwing at your hitters yesterday. What are you going to do when you hit the mound? You're up, what was it, 5-0, 6-1? What was the score?
6-0 was the final.
What are you going to do?
You hit him.
Yes!
Yeah.
Well, it took you 5 seconds. Somebody's going down. And no, he didn't do that. He did the wiggle jiggle or whatever that thing is that we saw.
Chop. I think they called it the chop.
They can call it what you want.
Didn't you? You had to love how Murph responded, though, basically saying, we ain't doing that blank.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the best thing about Craig Counsell that history will say was that he left, or that he hired Murphy and then left to go to the Cubs. Best thing he did for the Brewers.
You think there could be some sabotage?
No.
What do you think?
I think you give him a ring. If they win the World Series, Craig Counsell gets a ring.
You're giving Craig Counsell a World Series ring if the Brewers win because he left us Pat Murphy.
Yes. Yep.
Interesting.
And he did good things for the Brewers. There was a lot of part to Counsell that's positive, not just that. He's a player and all. He did a lot of good things, but the best thing he did was hire Murphy and leave. If they win the World Series. I mean, that's the premise.
Premise it is. All right, Homer.
Apparently you don't agree.
I don't think. No, you're not giving Craig Counsell a ring. If he, no,
okay,
that's not. Right. I understand your premise of it. I just disagree with it.
Can I ask you one final question?
Certainly.
Why do you think I said that?
Why do you think I said what?
No, you like to comment on why you think I say certain things. You did that earlier today.
Oh,
I wondered if
why I think you're commenting on Craig Counsell getting something?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys shopped at Sendik's together? I don't know.
We both have a college degree in accounting.
Oh, Notre Dame. You guys are both Notre Damers.
I did not go to Notre Dame. I was an assistant tennis coach there, but I did not go there. No.
All right, so why? Okay, can you stop the suspense? Why did you say it?
Because I think people need to remember the importance of the great things if it was a World Series, just like anything negative that people have about Giannis. Forget it, dude. You owe him forever. Forever.
Yeah, but Giannis brought a championship here. Craig Counsell didn't.
Well, this is based on giving him a ring if they win a World Series. Excellent point. That's exactly what I'm saying. In his way, he brought a championship here by bringing in Murphy and then leaving to go somewhere else. Or Murphy never would have been the manager. He'd have probably managed somewhere else.
Well, then, isn't that, by that deductive reasoning, isn't there a lot of guys that you could do that with?
I could, yes, and I'll judge each one individually, but yes, it's possible.
Well, I can't wait for you to do that on the Homer Hour later this afternoon. Homer,
Bye.
We appreciate you. See ya. All right, Riley, you got to take over here now as we have trivia.
Yeah.
We'll go caller 11.
All right.
844-770-3776. Caller 11 to win our great prize pack. We will do that. I don't know. Do we have a read? You want me to do my read here? Or,
let me quick check. I'm not sure. Sheet. I know we do have it's Badgers Trivia Tuesday, so keep it.
But it's Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, it is Wednesday.
So you're still doing Badger Trivia Tuesday?
Yeah, I guess we're
not doing Geography Wednesday?
Wow, that's on me. When I was writing the show sheet, I totally thought it was Tuesday.
Well, today's Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we're going to do
we did Sports Weekend recap.
We're going to do Badger Trivia Tuesday on a Wednesday.
And we'll do Wisconsin Geography Wednesday
it
tomorrow
is a goofy
on a Thursday.
Week. In Riley's defense, it is a goofy week. Caller 11 to win a great prize. When you get eligible to win a great prize pack at 844-770-3776. While Riley's taking calls, I'm going to tell you about Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Homer just mentioned Brewers 30-1 down to 17-1. We had Jesse and we were down at the sports book down there, which is great. They have great food, great entertainment, and great promotions. Join the Hard Rock Casino Rockford this month for the Triple Rev Harley giveaway. It's your chance to win a 2026 Harley-Davidson Lowrider motorcycle featuring rip-ready suspension, a heavy breather intake, and a performance-tuned 2-in-1 exhaust. This exceptional machine delivers refined power, sharper handling, and unmistakable Harley-Davidson craftsmanship. Earn entries now through May 24th with grand prizes given away on May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Official rules at casino.hardrock.com and on site at the Players Club. Play, dine, shop, and enjoy live shows and the sportsbook. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. By the way, it's Wednesday, as we just mentioned. Head on down there for lunch, especially if you're 55 plus.
Yeah.
Big discounts if you're 55 plus for lunch down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Oh, part up too.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Your road to the ESPN Milwaukee Open starts with one lucky phone call. Listen to On the Tee Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee for your chance to qualify. 10 listeners will each receive a randomly assigned golfer in the Memorial Tournament, and the highest finish wins the grand prize twosome.
Thanks to Delzer, a division of Proof, The Bog, Marquette Athletics, Tony Wendorf and Associates, Events by Design, Boucher Automotive, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Loyal Family Renovations, Gruber Law Offices, and Siding Unlimited.
ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel here for Events by Design. If you're planning an annual meeting, leadership summit, product launch, or trade show, you already know the pressure is on. Events by Design takes those high-stake moments and turns them into immersive experiences that energize your audience and elevate your brand. They handle everything: designing, planning, production, ensuring your event is executed seamlessly. No stress, no scrambling, just a memorable experience that delivers. Get started today. Just search online. Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hey, I went to the new place. They didn't have everything, but the bananas were on sale.
Wait, why didn't you go to Woodman's?
Hi, we're the Woodmans.
I'm Clint.
I'm Phil.
Other stores promote a few items but charge more for everything else.
At Woodman's, you save big time money on your whole grocery bill.
I even use the app to compare prices.
Oh my gosh, talk about receipt regret.
Our work here is done.
Service and savings. It's Woodman's.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high-alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local Fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. A couple of months ago, I knew one thing for sure. I had the girl. What I didn't know was what came next. Luckily, a friend of mine told me about the team at Robert Hack Diamonds and the job they do, getting you from knowing you have the girl to down on one knee. I had never been through this process before buying an engagement ring. I had an idea of what she wanted. She'd sent me pictures of some hints and some ideas, but I wanted it to be special and different, and that's where Robert Hack Diamonds came in. They created my fiance's dream ring, and it made that moment, that yes, that much more special. So if you, like me, know you've got the girl, but don't really know what comes next, go see the team at Robert Hack Diamonds. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, where I went, and 2 in Brookfield, north and south. Their custom jewelry is made on site, lab-grown options, natural diamond options, and all the in-betweens. Stop in today or visit them online, roberthackdiamonds.com. That's Robert Hack, H-A-A-C-K, diamonds.com. And after you get that yes, like me, you'll say, heck yeah, thanks to Robert Hack Diamonds.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, Riles. A little clunky here without Jason on the trivia side of it. I got to pull up the trivia questions. Why don't you tell us, welcome in who we have as our guest?
All right. Would love to welcome in our guy, Jason from Fredonia. Jason.
Fredonia.
I think Owen Miller, former Brewer, is from there. Is that correct?
Yeah, him and Noah and Olin.
All right, nice.
There's two Millers.
Played for the Warriors.
Okay.
Nice.
You know where Fredonia is,
Owen
Riley?
played for the Cubs.
Is that on the east side of Wisconsin?
That's Jason.
Jason, where is Fredonia? Is it north of Milwaukee? This is just a shot in the dark.
Yeah, it's about 20 miles north, so it's about 5 miles north of Cedarburg, Grafton.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right. I had the general idea.
Yeah, I think we'll give you a point for that. We
Let's
will
go.
not give Jason one, but we will give him 3 opportunities to win a great prize pack by our partners.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Vortex Golf, rangefinders you can bet on. By Iron Jock, no stink, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. Have a grad to celebrate? Purchase $30 in Cousin Subs gift cards and receive a free 7.5-inch sub. Cousin Subs, they believe in better.
Indeed they do, and we believe in better. And Jason, it's Badger Trivia Tuesday on a Wednesday. I don't know, were you looking forward to, because I love the geography side of this, and I'm guessing you're pretty good at it, but here we go with Badger Sports Trivia. Which SEC team did Wisconsin defeat at Lambeau Field in 2016? Is it Alabama? Is it LSU? Or is it the staffers that kicked Riley out of his seat at the SEC tournament?
Tough one. Let's go with LSU.
Yes, sir. That was, I'm telling you, man, that was one cool, it was a bowl game. That was what when you do these games, they did it as well as you could. It was half and half. LSU fans were up there.
They traveled.
They traveled awesome. They drank. They partied. And I think Wisconsin fans loved it. And we also won the game, which made it a perfect weekend. All right, Riles, you got question 2.
All right, question number 2. Jason, the Badgers did defeat LSU at Lambeau Field in 2016. Who was the Badgers' starting quarterback in that game? Was it Bart Houston, Alex Hornibrook, or Graham Mertz?
Oh.
A tough question. Tough question.
I'm going to go with Hornibrook.
We have a problem, Jason. We have a problem. It was Bart Houston.
We do.
Bart Houston. 5-star kid. If my memory serves me, Bart Houston was.
Was he 5-star?
Yeah, he was a 5-star
Wow.
cat. Yep. All right, let's knock this out. Let's get our second, so we get you 3 entries if you can get this one right. And the question is this. Wisconsin football is 4-13 all time against the SEC. Before the 16-14 win over LSU in 2016, who was the last SEC team that the Badgers beat? It's a hard question. Jesse, draw this up or you?
No, I wrote these.
This is a tough one.
Yep.
Is it Arkansas, Auburn, or Tennessee?
Oh. Well, I know they won. I'm going to go with Arkansas.
The Bielema Bowl? No, it was, and I don't know this for sure. I think this was when Alvey came back and coached in the bowl game, they beat Auburn in Barry Alvarez's last game, got the Gatorade dump and everything else.
It was actually the year before in the 2015 Outback Bowl.
The Outback Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew they won the Outback, but I forgot Auburn.
It's been that long, huh?
Yeah.
We got beat by Bama twice. We don't play the SEC that much. And now with bowl games, we lost to LSU a couple years ago at the whatever bowl that was.
Bowl.
Great bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
Not many folks, but a great bowl.
Tanner
Jason, you
Mordecai
get
did
2
well.
entries. Make sure you put those little chippies in there, and we will let you know on Friday if you got it done. Thanks for calling. We appreciate all of your support.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
You bet. All right. Well, Jason is down at practice. Riley is kind of our college football guy.
I
know
college football.
Obviously am very close with the Wisconsin Badgers. That's where the Big Ten. You're an SEC instigator.
Yep.
And I thought there were some interesting things as we wait for Jason to come back from his Matt LaFleur long-winded presser. There are some things that happened yesterday in the SEC coaches meeting that I thought was very interesting, and I'd like to get Riley's opinion on that as well. We will do that in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Your next great round begins at Sweetgrass and Sage Run at the Island Resort and Casino. Book early in the week for best availability. Beginning in July, Stay and Play guests can preview the brand new 9-hole Cedar course, inspired by the golden age of golf. At the Island, your golf trip becomes a full resort experience with relaxing spa treatments and exceptional dining to thrilling casino action. Plan your golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Right now, shop outdoor adventure deals like Blaine's Farm and Fleet camp chairs. Buy one, get one 60% off. 20% off assorted fishing rods and reels, tackle, and apparel. And save $50 on select Milwaukee outdoor power tools. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
We are the home for all your Bucks coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Welcome into the 11 o'clock hour. Not super late for a Bulaga Wednesday. It's 11:20, but it's the start of the 11 o'clock hour on Wilde and Tausch. Riley is hanging out. Doing a nice job filling in for Jesse. It's tough, big shoes to fill.
I know.
Jason
Appreciate
is
it.
down at Matt LaFleur's press conference. I'm sure he'll be joining us in the next segment, but gives us a chance to talk a little college football. And I thought there's been some interesting things. There's a big new court settlement that the senators in the U.S. Congress are trying to pass.
That's some bipartisan
None
thing?
of it's going to work. Okay, none of that's going to work. So, but what I did find super interesting was some things that came from the SEC yesterday. Let's not try to color this any other way, but thinking it's the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yep.
All right. There are two power conferences that will dictate the future of college football. And the future of college football will dictate the future of college athletics. Let's not mince any words. That's how this works. The Big Ten, as you saw down at the baseball tournament, has taken over.
Mm-hmm.
And the SEC doesn't like it. And the SEC coaches, I mentioned yesterday, I heard Lane Kiffin on Big Cat's podcast talking about, well, it's just not fair. Well, the bottom of the SEC is so much tougher than the Big Ten. And, these guys don't have to play as hard. And they get to rest guys. The Big Ten's top is pretty dang good. By the way, how many Big Ten teams are in the college football playoff, there's a bunch. There are many. I mean, they're both slugfests to get through. Are there some easier matchups in the Big Ten? Maybe, because the road atmosphere is probably a little bit easier when you go to Purdue than if you go to Mississippi State. That would be the argument, and I understand that.
But that's the only argument, though.
Agreed. But there are some things, and Kirby Smart has kind of taken over, I think, the mantle. There may be a few others, but as far as like the Nick Saban, there is no Nick Saban. I would say Kirby Smart, a disciple of Nick Saban.
He's the closest thing.
He would be the closest thing. So his voice and the Georgia Athletic Director's voice, I listen because they're going to be leading the charge on how the SEC is handling things. And he said some interesting things yesterday that I want you to play here, Riley.
But I've said this for a long time to our president. I've been a huge advocate that if we can't find rules that everybody plays by, then we should, play our own. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to break away and say that our conference is strong enough to go out and have and play. I mean, like if we could actually function and it financially would make our programs more stable and we could support things financially. I'm talking about all the sports and do by our own rules. I'd be all for that. I mean, I've been to this meeting now 10, 11 times, and it's frustrating at times to say, well, we can't do this because of litigation. We can't do this because of litigation. We can't do this because we'll get sued. We can't do that. And we're just trying to do things for the betterment of the sport and the betterment of the student athletes. And that's not curtailing what money they make. I'm not advocating that they make less money. I'm fine with what student athletes make. I'm trying to make it where it's as equal and as comparable footing for everybody, and it's not a race to the bottom, as they say.
So I just find that so rich. Now the SEC is caring about equity.
Equal playing field.
It's like, come on, man. Here's what I think is going to happen. And tell me if you're intrigued by this, because you are a big college football fan.
Yes.
I think both of these conferences are going to expand. I think the Big Ten has seen with what they've been able to generate from the West Coast schools, that revenue. I think this is going to be like the NFL and the AFL. I think it's going to take a little time where both of these conferences are going to have their, and let's just call it what it is. Fox is in bed with the Big Ten. ESPN, ABC is in bed with the SEC. Both are going to run their deal. And at some point, I want it to get where it ends up being the Super Bowl of college football. I want the Big Ten and Fox to have their set of circumstances, and I want it to be the other way, and I want there to be – because I'm going to tell you this. Players, it is going to be unfettered free agency. They dawdled too long. Players have no reason to ever give any of this up because they have power on power. And I think that the SEC is going to expand. I think the Big Ten is going to expand some more. And I think these other conferences are going to either go away or going to dwindle. And it's going to be 18 to 20 teams on each. You're going to have 40 teams, and it's going to be, let's go. That's how I see this thing shaking out. They're going to set their own rules. And at some point, someone smarter than I is going to come in and be the commissioner, a la Goodell, and bring these groups together. And you're going to end up rotating between Fox and ESPN on where they play this national championship game, where the SEC has a representative and the Big Ten has a representative. Tell me why this is a crazy idea.
It's a crazy idea because Kirby Smart brought it up. There are other sports, too.
There is.
Like, how does that work unless football totally separates and then you just license out the brands and, like, the logos and the facilities?
What I would like to see is that the football has broken off. Whether they've said that they haven't, that's the way this has gone. You are going to keep those, and you can actually make it better because they're going to be more, it's not going to be club sports. I don't want to say it that way. It's going to be more localized. I don't think there's ever a reason for Rutgers to have to fly to UCLA on a Wednesday night to row.
Yeah.
Or to play softball. I don't think that ever makes any sense. So, yes, you break it off, and then you geographize the non-revenue sports where you're playing back in. You still have national championships. You still let the NCAA handle that piece of it because the NCAA is holding this all together. as unpowerful as that group is, football needs to just do its thing and bring the revenue in and share it with the non-revenue sports like they are. But it needs to be run like a big boy professional business because that's what it is.
Yeah, so then are you saying if your football team, if your school's football team is not in the Big Ten or SEC, your athletic program is just screwed then? Because, if you're not getting that TV revenue, you cannot subsidize anything whatsoever.
That is how this is going to go.
But then, are you saying that's how you want it to go? Or just
no,
how
I
that
don't
is
want it
going
to go that way. I think that is the way it's going to go. And I think the Big 12 schools and what are some of the other conferences
like,
that
let's
are left?
say, I mean, you brought up
It's really the Big
expansion.
12 and the ACC.
ACC, yes. You brought up expansion, so maybe like a Miami gets poached by the SEC or a Florida State. But like, you're telling me a football-rich school like that is just like they got to blow up everything? Like they're not going to be a part of major college football anymore, or even like a West Virginia?
You understand Clemson and Florida State tried to get out of the ACC numerous times?
Yes, and they weren't allowed.
And
correct?
when they get the opportunity to do that, they will. So you're either going to be proactive and figure this out, and you're going to have to be jumping on. Now, maybe there'll be a third conference. I don't think that's how this works. You could go 4, but let's not kid ourselves. We've seen it already. The Big Ten and the SEC are running the roost.
Yes. Agree.
You're either going to be there or you're not, and that's how they're going to dictate. They're already dictating it and how it's going. So most of these schools now in the Big 12, I would guess, are not going to be financially feasible. They're not getting the same revenue that these other schools are. And by the way, they're trying to keep up keeping the same players. So, no, I don't think it's going to work.
Man, that's just awful. That's a travesty for college football and college athletics.
Unless you're one of the 40 schools.
Yes, and that's why I'm so happy that
Can you go to
in the Big
60? Can you go to 60? Can you go to 80? I think if you get to 60 or 80, you're going to – because then you'll have a really strong Division I AA or however you want to call it, and that will still be – that is still very good football, and people will watch. It's just not going to be the same amount of money. And it will be used as a farm system for the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening now.
Yeah, true.
But this way, there will be even more revenue, and the rules will be aligned, and that's what – listen, Kirby's telling you what he wants to do. That's why I'm bringing it up. I don't want this.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everyone's just looking out for themselves, which you have to do. But I don't know if it's a Nick Saban or someone else, but I feel like someone needs to step in and protect college football. It's never going back to how it was, but if you can keep like some semblance of how it's always been with the regionality and
there still will be
rivalries.
regionality. You're still going to have your rivalries. You're still going to have those big games. But if you're going to a 24-team playoff, which is that's what the Big Ten wants, all of those games are going to be less and less relevant.
Yeah, but you're going to lose the rivalries like the Mizzou, Kansas. They hate each other. The Civil War, Oregon State.
They're not even in the same conference now and don't play each other.
I know, but they try.
Iowa and Iowa
West
State.
Virginia, Penn State, the backyard brawl.
I hate to tell you, nobody cares. That's not going to continue on. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm just curious, and why I wanted to play the Kirby is he's telling you what the SEC is thinking. The SEC does not want to do 24. They're already complaining about having to play 9 conference games. Football, it is going to get broken up in some way, shape, or form. You better make sure your wagon is hitched to the Big Ten or the SEC, or I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You better insure carefully and dream fearlessly. And, just like a great team needs great protection, so does your family. Spent a lot of time on the offensive line, and trust me, when you know you're protected, you play a whole lot freer. That's what American Family Insurance is all about. With the right home and auto coverage, they're going to help protect what you've worked hard for and that dreams that you're building for the future. That way you can focus on your family and not the what-ifs. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Jason is back from his Matt LaFleur presser. We look forward to hearing what he has to say, and we'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Think you've got championship luck in your corner? 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are giving one lucky listener and a guest a chance to play in the ESPN Milwaukee Open. Listen weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. June 15th through the 17th and be the right caller to qualify. 15 listeners will each be paired with a golfer in the U.S. Open Championship, and the highest finish wins the grand prize twosome.
Thanks to Delzer, a division of Proof, The Bog, Carbliss, The Jewelry Center, PCI, Captivate Exhibits, Welky's, Fifth Third Bank, Epic Color, and Jet Out.
Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Got a grad to celebrate? Make it easy with a Cousin Subs gift card. Buy $30 in gift cards and get a free 7.5-inch sub for you. Valid on any Deli Fresh or Classic sub. So while you're giving a great gift, you're getting one too. Simple, thoughtful, and way better than a card that gets tucked away. Stop by your local Cousin Subs today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
On Thursday, May 28th, join Sharp for the 10th annual Unwrapped MKE from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based education programs serving thousands of urban elementary students in schools throughout Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Your local bar could be your ticket to a global stage. Michelob Ultra Soccer Shootout is giving fans the chance to win tickets to the FIFA World Cup 26 at Stenny's Lake Country starting at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, May 27th. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Elbow Room Cedarburg, Social House Menominee Falls, and Moran, South Milwaukee. Your neighborhood, your shot at the world's biggest game. Play for the chance to witness history. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21+. Void where prohibited.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. Since January, I've already lost 40 pounds and dropped a couple pant sizes. The program has been simple, safe, and their team has helped me every step of the way. Best of all, it's built to help keep the weight off for good. If you're looking for a weight loss program that works, Milwaukee Weight Loss is it. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 855 Pella WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Packers practice underway inside the Don Hutson Center. Matt LaFleur
addressing reporters for about 15 minutes, saying he will defer to the team's statements on the Josh Jacobs situation. A few enterprising reporters asked questions about Marshawn Lloyd in an effort to have some discussion about the running back position, but Matt LaFleur holding off on discussing any hypotheticals or potential eventualities with if Josh Jacobs were to face a 6-game suspension to start the season, for example. Matt LaFleur avoiding all those topics. We did manage to talk a little bit of football as well, a little bit later in the session. We'll get to that momentarily. But Tausch, I assume that is exactly what you expected from Matt LaFleur, was non-answers when it came to the situation regarding the Packers star running back.
Yeah, it's why I was not as upset with, as far as why they were canceling certain things. I was a little surprised that was it not on Packers.com?
I don't. We were outside the Hudson Center. It was not in the media auditorium because, as you know, the media auditorium is
busy. They
closed to the media today.
They're doing a lunch in there, and then the lunch hall's not available because they're doing a media session, which is an
if only they had other rooms in this building. So he did address reporters, but did not address the certainly the elephant in the room or the outside, since we're outdoors. I did want to get to a few things though that we did hit on with him, and one of them was about the first-year approach to the offense, which I thought was, so we can talk about that. But the biggest thing for me,
they're going run and shoot now because they don't have a running back, right? Is that kind of what they said?
Yes. Well, I guess they can go back to the outside zone because the running back that likes duo, we don't know what his status will be. But I did ask Matt LaFleur somewhat directly. Someone else had asked the question earlier about releasing Brandon McManus, and after they had said that there would be competition. And I thought it was interesting. He said they wanted to do what was best for Brandon and for the organization. And I came back after that and asked later to Matt. I just said, look, competition is the bedrock of everything you do here. You talk about it all the time. Why wouldn't it be beneficial for him to go through the process of competing? And I said, did Brandon ask for you to release him? And his answer was simply, no, we thought this was, we wanted to give Trey the best opportunity to succeed. How would you interpret that? Because competition, iron sharpens iron, all that stuff we always talk about with football, does that not apply to kickers?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's why I thought the whole thing was weird, and I'm guessing at some point it was probably Brandon wanting to go find a different spot and have some flexibility, but I don't know why you wouldn't just say that if that is indeed the case. But competition is the bedrock of what football teams do, and that's what everybody always preaches. You obviously will know there are certain places in the way people are paid that is not going to be in play, but you want that attitude throughout your roster. And you want your players to be put in position where they have to earn things, and they prove to their teammates their worthiness of earning that trust in the locker room. And, how this played out, none of that really kind of is copacetic with that. So there's obviously more to that story. I'm sure the great journalists and the many beat writers that we have, somebody will figure that piece of it out, because I don't think it's as simple as just, we just felt like there's a lot of reasons. And I know the day that happened, we went into a bunch, and there were some really good, thoughtful things. Trey Smack, where you want to give him some confidence, and Brandon McManus, you don't want him to be a distraction. There's a lot of different money. You don't want anybody getting hurt, and you have to pay.
Right.
There's a lot of reasons for it maybe being the case, but let's not try and kid ourselves. If you want competition, you want guys that can push each other and let the best man win. Trey Smack's going to be your kicker, whether or not he's the best man or not for that, unless he's hurt or Havrasek has a monumental run and this kid struggles.
The other part of this, though? He did make the comment about that Trey is going to get the bulk of the workload. Is that so? You've got Lucas Havrisik here to take some of the workload off of him, because the one thing you don't want to do, right, is overkick him either, because that is also a danger. So he certainly needs his work in training camp, but at the same time, I didn't find that answer to be overly convincing in terms of the way Matt LaFleur viewed it. The idea that this is what's best for Trey Smack, if competition isn't what's best for Trey Smack, and he didn't say those exact words, but I find that to be a little bit hard to reconcile.
You find that troubling?
Yeah, well, I just find it odd.
The scenario, the way it played out, is odd. There's no doubt about it.
Especially when the general manager says after the selection that they were going to compete. He explicitly said so.
There's more to the story, and we'll find out what that is. I'm guessing Brandon McManus wanted to be released and was not going to be, there's, the injury part of it and the money component is always in play, but I'm guessing that's the way. Otherwise, the Packers have no reason to do that unless they just said, we're going to go with the young fella. Good luck to you. I don't know why you would do that from an organizational standpoint.
A couple of other interesting tidbits. First of all, from an attendance standpoint, Tucker Kraft is here, and he's working on the side. Matt LaFleur saying he looks great. He looks like he should be out there, but they're obviously being smart with him. Zach Tom is not participating. Micah Parsons is not here currently. He will be back for the minicamp in June. Keyshawn Nixon is here. He is here in uniform, and he just took reps with the number 1 defense.
Love it.
So he is, at least at this point.
I wonder if there's some sprinkler.
That is exactly what I wonder.
Why don't you check the NFLPA website and check that out and see if there's some things
I checked it. That his contract has not been updated. I checked last week, so maybe they're engaged to be engaged. Yeah, a handshake, winking a nod. Also, Bo Melton is officially back to being a wide receiver, in case you were wondering about that. The other thing that I did ask Matt LaFleur was about the going back to the first-year approach on the offense. And I said, I understand you told us you were focused on fundamentals, but does that also mean, for example, maybe going back to a little more outside zone in the run game? And, Jason, I'm not going to tell you all of our scheme. And I said, no, but I'd like some of your scheme. And I think it's interesting.
Witty.
Yeah, I'm a witty guy, and I'm in a great mood too. I would say that the way he answered it leads me to believe that is something that they are looking to do. He didn't explicitly say so, Tausch, but what he did say was, we took a deep dive into everything from the last 7 years, and we took a lot of things out. And to me, that says, and you experienced this probably with Mike McCarthy to some degree, like when you've got your base beliefs that you have offensively, but they also believe in adding stuff. And I remember that first time I sat in Matt LaFleur's office, and he had their clips going that he was going through on his television of plays that other teams had run, that if you like them and they can be compatible with your system, you take them and then you rep them and then you use them, right? And maybe some of those things that they picked up from other teams now they don't want to do, or maybe, all kidding aside, maybe they have decided that the duo scheme is not something they want to run so extensively in their run game. But it did sound like they have taken a closer look and decided, hey, maybe there are certain things where we've gotten away from doing what we like to do. And while we still want to make sure our offense fits what our guys do well, we also have to have some core tenets that we believe in and we're going to follow. So that was kind of the long and the short. There were multiple different attempts to get different ways to get Matt LaFleur to talk about Josh Jacobs. He declined respectfully.
As he should.
Respectfully.
Yeah, it's
declined.
good that he said respectfully.
Yeah, that makes it better. And from his perspective, I get it. It's interesting. It's almost as if you could have also had your players do that. But nevertheless, they are out on the practice field now at Ray Nitschke Field going through their paces and getting ready for period 3 coming
Is this
up.
real football? Will they actually be doing like live stuff?
So, no, I mean, they'll do some 11 on 11. The real question is, will it be at full speed? Because nothing they have done before OTAs was at full speed. Obviously, as you know, as a former NFLPA representative and longtime NFL player, they are not in pads. They're in helmets, jerseys, and shorts. There will be minimal contact occurring and allowed. One of the things Matt LaFleur was talking about was you don't really get a good feel for the guys on either side of the line of scrimmage when you go through practices like these, because obviously they're not hitting. But you know, there's you guys used to know like the version of collisioning and contact that you could do at this time of year, right? And I would argue that it's less than what you guys probably did. Was it too much when you played?
Yes.
For guys that weren't in pads?
No, it sucked. Yeah, I hated OTAs and minicamp because it was full speed with no pads. So yeah, it sucked.
So you and Bryan Bulaga are on the same page. Why did it suck? So it was just you had the, like Brian said earlier, defensive lineman just took it a step too far, and you guys were all on the receiving end, or what?
I will tell you that after you. I don't know. Do you have a live read? But if you don't, Riley.
I can tell you about Bucks Plus if you'd
there
like.
There you go. That would be fantastic.
On the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks, season 6 or 7, 6, 7.
Oh God.
It's the Bucks versus the world when they took on the USSR, I believe at the Mecca when they were in that tournament. Charlie Behrens narrates, and you can find it bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and of course, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll wrap things up on Wilde and Tausch next, so stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love, with 0% financing options available, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Shields.com.
Enjoy Ozaukee County's premier golf destination, The Bog in Saukville. Featuring 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, The Bog offers a golf experience unlike any other for all skill levels. But The Bog is more than just golf. It's the perfect setting for corporate events, weddings, and group outings. Our team brings every detail to life. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, then enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy The Bog.
The wait is over. The Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live, presented by Beatbox, returns to State Fair Park this Wednesday with the Glam Band. Gates open at 6, live music starts at 7. Grab your friends and kick off the season on Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park.
Hi, this is Mike and Michelle Grau from Professional Construction Inc., also known as PCI.
You may know Milwaukee's pitcher, The Miz.
Yeah! And just like that player's nickname, PCI is short for Professional Construction Inc.
One name name, one team, one trusted local construction company.
Whether you call us PCI or Professional Construction Inc., we're here to build or remodel your dream home.
PCI, for all your construction needs. Visit us at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Best time of the year, it's patio season. Hey, it's Alex Strofe, and no better place to soak in patio season than Veer North on Milwaukee's east side. Veer North brings the energy with a spacious patio, elevated food, and craft cocktails perfect for summer nights. Headed to a game? Start here and hop on the shuttle straight to the ballpark. Same goes for Summerfest and all your favorite festivals, pregame, postgame, or stay for the whole night. Live music, great vibes, and a menu that goes way beyond the basics. Veer North is not your average sports bar. Veer North, Milwaukee's go-to for summer fun.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Apparently, we're running a little bit behind. So, Tausch, tell us exactly why you hated OTAs.
Jason, could you ask him again?
Tausch, apparently we're running behind.
Oh, we're a little hot. Yeah, we missed. It wasn't just with Jesse. This one's on me today. Long SEC Big Ten talk. That's on me.
So why did you hate OTAs?
Oh, because it was full speed football with no pads. So you would just come out of there bruised
in places where if you had pads you wouldn't be. You ended up not. I'm not trying to say that you're sore than a training camp. You're not. But it was just you kind of felt like you wouldn't. It was about moving around, and it ended up getting a lot more physical, which isn't shocking to anybody than what it should be. And that's probably why they've toned this back.
Well, that's what Jeff Saturday wanted, that's for sure. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Old, outdated windows aren't doing your home any favors. Upgrade with Callan and replace 8 windows for as low as $188 per month. That's right, 8 windows. A smarter investment that can transform nearly half of your home. And with Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows, engineered to be up to 8 times stronger, you'll get lasting beauty, strength, and performance. Request your consultation today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live. Some restrictions apply. Offer good with approved credit.
Your local bar could be your ticket to a global stage. Michelob Ultra's Soccer Shootout is giving fans the chance to win tickets to the FIFA World Cup 26 at Social House, Menominee Falls, starting at 7 p.m. on Thursday, May 28th. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Stenny's North Shore, Potawatomi, and Spanky's Waterford. Your neighborhood, your shot at the world's biggest game. Play for the chance to witness history. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21+. 18+. Void where prohibited.
Hack yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for Robert Hack Diamonds. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 2 in Brookfield, 1 in Greenfield, where I went, to buy my fiance's dream engagement ring. You don't become Wisconsin's most trusted and respected name in diamonds on accident. Robert Hack Diamonds has been in Wisconsin.
Here, come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L for as low as $339 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Right now, shop outdoor adventure deals like assorted Onyx life vests, 25% off. Save 20% on assorted Igloo coolers. And get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Hill's Science Diet dog food and treats. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
This is our crew.
And a high fly ball, deep right field. This ball's way back there. That one's off the scoreboard and over it and out of this ballpark.
Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
We're behind schedule. We got to get to Rich Eisen. My apologies. We'll do better tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
2.3